It's okay. We can do this. Let's be safer this time for once, shall we? No chips. Let's be safer this time for once, shall we? Okay. You got Doritos? What flavor though? That's the real question. Don't tell me it's like the plain nacho cheese.
Hello.
Or whatever it is. Don't tell me. You wouldn't tell me that, would you?
All right, we're live on Twitch.
Okay, that's pretty good.
We're live on YouTube.
I'm down with that. This actually doesn't work with our flushes very easily.
The titles are correct. Good.
Okay.
Hello, welcome in. This is Major League Balatro Season 3, Week 5, Scooty versus Halien. We will be hopefully underway soon, provided everything works as I expect it to. I've got all the back-end stuff. Hello, Vagabond.
Hello, hello, hello.
Welcome in. Happy Wednesday.
Thank you.
I am live, just so you know.
$5 from that hermit.
Me as well. I just went live.
Cool. I'm hoping I set up the back end. I don't know if you were expecting to set up the back end, but I did it.
I've never set up the back end before, so
okay.
I'm glad you were able to take care of that.
Yes, I believe I've set up the back end, and apart from making sure that Scooty's name is in all caps when he gets to PvP, and Halien's name is all in lower caps when he gets to PvP, everything should be fine. That's my expectation of things, at least. But should be a good game we have here this week against two, I think, fairly equally strength players, which will make things pretty interesting.
Yeah, I mean, let me pull up the division scoring here. Hold on.
So, Halien with 2 matches won, Scooty with 1 match won. Neither player kind of right at the top or right at the bottom of their side of the table.
I mean, I guess the big thing is Halien is currently qualified for playoffs. I mean, they're in the top 6, and Scooty is just shy of that. So this win, if Scooty can get the win here, it's really important for them if they want to make playoffs.
Yeah, especially they'd like to get about 4 points to go right up to 8, rather than getting 3 points, because that would still set them in at 7th place. So to get a 3-0 sweep against Halien would be best for them right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and yeah, their wins as well. So first of all, they won their first match against Fur, which is, I mean, Fur is like completely cooking right now in the standings. I mean, well, I guess they were cooking. I guess they're tied with Halien right now, but they won against Fur, and then Fur is a little bit farther down on the leaderboard after that 3-0 from Doc. Which, I mean, every single person in this division is going to have to fight Doc at some point.
Yeah. I've never been in a division with Doc before, so...
Mm-hmm. I don't know. I think Bean's a little bit scarier, but Doc definitely very scary.
Yeah, for sure.
What else? Okay, I was looking at their match history. Yeah, Halien taking their first match versus Fur, then losing to Rarin, losing to Zeno, and then most recently winning against HC Justin, getting a 3-0. So, honestly, if your only losses are against Zeno and then Rarin, who's doing phenomenally, at number 4 right now, three wins, 1 loss. I mean, Rarin's going crazy right now. Then I would not be too upset about my standings. And then what about Scooty? Hold on. The website is actually so nice with all the statistics and stuff.
Yeah, it's just...
All right, so Scooty's fought Rarin, Zeno, so same people, and HC Justin as well. So they fought 3 of the same people. And Dr. Spectral. So, and then they one match they won was against HC Justin, and then they won a match against Rarin. Okay, so they've had like a pretty difficult week, few weeks of their own.
Yeah, it's interesting how some players can kind of be front loaded with players that kind of might be on the weaker end of the spectrum, and some players might have their first few matches be players that you expect to be kind of holding those top spots. And so even into the middle of the season, you can feel where some players have a few wins and a few losses, whereas other people's have just been slammed, but their back half of the season might be where they expect to possibly see more success.
Absolutely. All right.
I think I'm getting a very small echo of being able to hear myself through your feedback.
Was that the case?
Or one of my streams is open and with audio, but that shouldn't be the case.
I think no, my mic sensitivity is just like way too high,
Right.
and so it's probably my headphones coming through on your
I
end.
see. My deep booming voice. It's not the end of the world.
No. Yeah, I'm sorry about
That's
that.
all right.
I'm not sure. I'll have to fix that later.
No problem at all. So we got Scooty on the left of frame on the cast and Halion on the right. You can see his happy little hatted head in the corner of his screen. They are...
Yeah, and both of these players are very experienced in just roguelike games in general. Halion, I believe, big Hades enjoyer.
Yes, indeed.
And
he was trying to...
just all around.
Halion was trying to rejig some matches earlier to make sure he was available for the Hades 2 release 1.0. I just want the overlay to start working correctly, and then I'll be happy.
I guess we'll find out, right? It's always something that you just gotta be a little bit stressed about until it finally ends up working.
Yeah, I assume you've got it on your end showing Scooty and Halion all correctly with your load through of what I've produced.
Yeah. So I got Scooty on the left, Halion on the right. There's like... I think the overlay is working because Halion was doing a bit of a practice match before the game started, and you can see the total spent and the high score and the lucky cards and everything. So it looks like at least the overlay for Halion was working.
Good.
All right. I'm gonna see if I can knock on your stream really quick.
Oh, yeah.
All right, there you go.
Halion, Scooty's side of the screen to shift over a bit. I've got it not quite lined up central. I don't know why.
All right, but looks like the players are readying up. We got it's an abandoned deck orange stake. That is the deck and stake combination of the week for the players on the first deck and stake. I'm super excited to see these players play. I mean, I want to see some irregular action, some novel moves and decisions.
I'm going to leave you to commentate a moment. Scooty has his username as Scoot, so I need to update in the backend.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah, it's supposed to be matching.
All right, but we got
yeah.
All right. So Halion taking this investment skip on orange stake. I mean, this stake can be quite deceptive if you're not well versed in the stakes. I mean, it's literally just gold stake, except there's no rentals, right? So maybe some jokers will be takeable when they otherwise might not be, but overall, you're still dealing with purple stake blind scaling, and also just with the difficulty of having to deal with Eternals and perishables, and I feel like that's a lot of the difficulty of what gold stake is. The rentals absolutely painful as well, but I believe the number is 30% of jokers.
That is correct.
Would have that rental tag. 30% are eternal, 30% are perishable. And yeah, it looks like both players decided to go for that investment tag skip. Pretty standard stuff. That $25 is so good. 2 perishable jokers in the shop. That Shoot the Moon, not going to do anything. This is abandoned deck. Buffoon pack available. What's in the box? An eternal photograph and an eternal flower pot. This is, I mean, I think you take the eternal photo, but that is a commitment. That is saying we are going to find strengths this game. We're going to find some sort of face card. We're going to figure this out. We're going to make it work. And yeah, that is what both of these players decide to do. Picking up the perishable crazy joker for Halion just to guarantee that we have a way to get out of these blinds with the straights.
Yeah, a lot of people don't like committing to the flower pot minigame, and equally, it's not going to do enough scoring in the late game if we get there to justify its position.
Yeah, definitely a very scary flower pot for sure. And to be fair, on abandoned, maybe you could make the argument that it's a bit easier to make work, right? Because maybe you can draw a 4 of a kind. And any 4 of a kind is going to fulfill the conditions of that flower pot. It's going to be very powerful. It could win you the first PvP, but again, it's a big if. And even if you get the tempo line off, that flower pot is going to be a dead slot in the late game.
Well, both players with exactly the same joker lineup for now. Looks like, I think Scooty took that stone card red seal.
Yeah, I call them Schrodinger stones. They're you never know, all right? They're until observed, they are every rank. You gotta take them. I've lost the tournament to skipping one of these before. My opponent put a chariot on him, and it was a face card, so... but
Halion.
We're going to take the gold seal.
Indeed.
I mean, it's a decent economy play, especially if you run into that Chad. Maybe being able to enable the photo Chad by having more money, finding a strength that maybe your opponent doesn't have, right? But we'll see what Scooty does. Maybe the decision whether to take the gold seal or the red seal is a little bit different for them because we have this justice card up top. Slapping that glass card on that red seal is an immediate 4x multiplier. Doesn't matter what rank or suit it's going to be. But no, they decide to take the gold seal. And look at that. That is a negative droll joker.
That is flash card.
Sorry, not... why did I say droll joker? I said reroll in my head, and then reroll translated to droll. That's crazy.
So,
yeah, no, that's a negative flashcard.
Scooty with almost twice as much money spent, and obviously twice the jokers to show for it now, but a little bit further ahead than Halion.
Yeah, I mean, half the blinds played, so... for Halion here. I wonder how impactful this negative flashcard is going to be here. Because, of course, with the photograph in the Chad, at any point in time, oh my goodness, that's a holographic Jack. Looks like... Did Scooty find that? Or did Halion just open more standard packs than Scooty?
I didn't see Scooty take it.
Scooty skipped the small blind. That's what happened.
Oh,
Did
yeah.
anybody catch what the small blind skip was? Scooty did take the Jack? Got you, okay. Well, I mean, that holographic Jack is going to be a great step on getting this photograph viable. I mean, it technically already is, right? You can make a straight with a Jack here in the next PvP. Free shop? Okay, it was the coupon tag. Thank you.
I have seen players making more use of that lately, where just having a whole free shop, that's probably why he's got so much stuff now, just because it opens up so many options for getting through the early game, because you can just go, yeah, I'll take anything and I'll get through these small blinds, big blinds without too much pressure.
Yeah, absolutely. Also, maybe coupon tag is a little bit more valuable on something like orange stake compared to gold stake, right? Because you can get punished by maybe the whole shop's eternal. That sucks, of course. But on gold stake, there's the additional possibility of maybe everything's rental, right? And if everything's rental, I mean, you don't want... I mean, they were going to be $1 anyway, so the discount doesn't matter as much either there. And you're going to have to pay for it for the rest of the game. So maybe getting the chance to get screwed over by the tags, since there's one less tag in the game, maybe the coupon tag is a little bit better here.
And Scooty not running the timer like we've been instructed to do, but probably wouldn't be...
It is the 300-second timer.
It is.
It will probably be fine.
Although, back in my week 1, I had a game that ended because of Nito timed it out twice, losing her last life on the second timer.
I believe I was casting that. Alright, Alien really considering this flashcard, and if they don't take it, honestly, I don't even think that that's that big of a mistake, right? You only really get punished for skipping this flashcard if one of two things happen. Either one, the seed is really, really dull, or two, you miss your draws on like a normal blind, and you really needed that base mult just to find a way out of the blinds either way, without utilizing the photograph or whatever other hand you have. But otherwise, this flashcard is not going to be doing much until a solid econ engine shows up.
Yeah, I would much rather, I think, have the $12 that $10 plus interest affords you in the new small blind shop rather than spending that. And he'll probably lose this life, but he may well be able to buy something much more interesting in the next shop, especially because he's going to get loser's cash off of this life, where he's most likely to not succeed when the Joker lineup is so similar here.
Well, I mean, this PvP is gonna come down to draws, really, right? Who's gonna be greedier in looking for this holographic jack? That is the key. This flashcard is not doing anything for us right now. It's only 0 mult. So it's all gonna be up to, can a Halion find this holographic jack? And if they find it, does Scooty not find it?
And also, I've seen, on Abandoned deck especially, I've seen some players kind of get a first round win just by greeding out the draws for a straight flush, because it's worth so many more points just in a vacuum compared to the other hands played.
I mean, not going to be the case here just because we have a level 3 straight for Scooty and level 2, I believe, for Halion. But absolutely, I mean, trying to go for a higher value hand could absolutely be a good play. And yeah, this is the last chance for Halion to draw that jack. But even if we do draw the jack here, are we even going to draw the straight? It doesn't look likely. Going for the flush here. And we find the gold seal. That's some decent compensation at least. Going to be $4 with the interest and the $3 from the gold seal. Alright, that is a stickerless mime showing up. Very tempting, hard to pass. Mime is just one of those jokers that's so versatile, right? I mean, you can use it to get a bunch of planet levels if you have a blue seal. You can use it for a lot of money with the gold cards. And it also comes with that scoring benefit with the steel cards. We've already added one to the deck. We might add another with this Chariot in the Arcana pack. And then, of course, there could be a Baron. Who knows? So just holding it speculatively while it generates so much value. And Scooty gonna take the Devil instead of the Chariot. I love this, making sure we're gonna get a lot of money, especially if we do plan on utilizing this flashcard at all, which I don't think is gonna matter too much. But if we plan on using this flashcard at all, we need money.
And Halion doing the same, an ace with the gold there for him, an ace of hearts.
Okay, important distinction between these two players here, though. Scooty used the gold on the holographic, saying, hey, I want a better death target. When I copy my jack, I want to be able to copy gold as well as the holographic. And Halion deciding to use the devil on an ace, saying, whenever I draw this jack, I want to play it. So I want to be able to actually hold on to the gold into my hand. Taking Eternal to-do list for Scooty here. I mean, this is very clearly just Scooty really wants money right now.
Yeah, I think to-do list I don't think is a strong enough economy joker to justify taking it as an Eternal, but maybe I'm just too risk averse with taking Eternal cards.
I mean, it definitely isn't the best Eternal in the world, but I can say from firsthand experience, I have lost a game to skipping Eternal to-do list. Like, it has happened to me.
No.
And I mean, it has the opportunity to be very powerful. If it hits high card, for example, and we play our cards right, maybe we can farm that 4 times. We'll see what Halion decides to do with this same decision here, going for the Drunkard.
Something else to note, if we look at money spent, they're almost equal right now, but Halion has about $20 more because he came into that shop with that Hermit with $20 and he was able to get the full double up, where Halion, because Scooty didn't have as much money, he wasn't getting as much value out of that tarot pool.
All right, Halion taking that blue seal in the pack. It looks like they decided to skip the mime, so they're not actually going to be getting double planet levels. But I mean, just a blue seal in general, we're going to be happy to have it. Scooty deciding, what do I sell out of for the business? Well, definitely not the business card, it's abandoned, but potentially the Cartomancer here. Again, death just super, super valuable right now. Could be considering selling the Ramen because the Mystic Summit does not synergize very well with it, and we know we're going to get rid of it eventually.
And there it goes.
Yeah.
Halion just really looking for these spades to get this holographic jack to trigger with the photograph.
Absolutely, and I mean, this negative flash card still only at 2 molt. We bought it at the end of last ante, and across this entire ante we've only rolled 1 time. It's a $10 decision that has really not helped us. Hey, it's temperance value.
Well, here's a perishable mail-in rebate. I'd certainly take that over some of these other perishable cards right now.
Yeah, I mean, that's a very big deal. I mean, this mail-in rebate is something Scooty wasn't able to see, partly because of their decision to buy this negative flash card, right? I mean, it put us, if we had $20 right now, maybe we would have rolled. I mean, we would have had more than $20 because of the interest as well.
And if you're looking at Halion's side of things, he's got Drunkard for an extra discard, and we're on Abandoned deck, so we're going to be able to find those 4 cards that the mail-in rebate pulls as the target for your discards. So I think there's a lot of money to be made for him right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Halion trying to make this exact decision here.
Does get rid of
the extra discard. Could be maybe considering selling the rebate as well, but I feel like this Droll Joker just is not doing very much, unless we're thinking about skipping the rebate.
I think he knows that he should take it, but rolls past.
And we roll... Oh my goodness. I've been seeing so many people pass up on mail-in rebate recently. I do not know why. It's such a phenomenal Joker.
It's one that I certainly didn't give like too much thought to, but just in watching so many MLBA games, I kind of internalized how good it is and that I should be using it more.
I mean, I think it is just the best econ Joker in the game outside of Ticket at max capacity. But, well, now that Halion did not pick up that mail-in rebate, Scooty is just going to have to-do list Eternal to actually generate an economy lead here. I mean, it is on pairs. That is a very playable hand here. We can get $12 out of it very likely, and then our last hand probably won't be a pair because we probably just do want to end up winning this PvP.
Yeah, Scooty playing straights and playing for the high score. I think here is the time to like focus more so on making sure you're getting that score, especially if we don't have turn order. If we do have turn order, then we can be a little bit more selective about it. But like the small blind and the big blind are really where you have the opportunity to farm that to-do list. And right now, especially being up a life, if you can keep that momentum going, then I think that's probably worth more than maybe the $8 he might get. Like choosing not to play quads here.
And earlier I was talking about how Halion could play like a straight with the face card. I completely forgot about there's a much easier hand you can play that can incorporate any rank whatsoever, and that is a flush. Scooty dying before Halion could get the flush level, so they're stuck with a high card level.
Yeah, players getting out of these rounds that if they know they're losing and getting out of them fast is like, I've seen people just narrowly get a lucky card play in right before the round ends and get those $20, and you have to consider moving fast in the PvP rounds when you don't have too many huge decisions, because players are cottoning on now that if you move fast, you're going to deny your opponent the opportunity to get their max value from gold cards, tarot generation, purple seals, and other things that you want to harvest during the round itself.
The worst possible hit on to-do list for Scooty here. That's a straight flush. I mean, give you $12 last round, $0 this round. That's $6 a round. That's not bad. And we take a queen over the red seal gold card in the booster pack for Scooty here. Oh my goodness. I mean, just really, really valuing getting this photograph online, I suppose. Just trying to maybe get 5-of-a-kind face cards or flush house face cards or something.
And both players picking up the voucher in the small blind rather than waiting to get more interest and then buying it after the big blind.
Another investment tag, but Halion and Scooty both pass up on it. At this point, there's enough value to be generated in the blind with the interest, the gold cards, the gold seals. That, I mean, Scooty death the gold seals, so they actually have 2. The Cardomancer as well. I mean, there's just enough value that all that value in combination with the shop is probably going to be worth more than $25.
I like Halion finally using this Justice card. They've held on for it now for multiple rounds, I think, and it's holding them back on the possibility of finding more glass cards or using a death on a glass card when it does come around. Like, you always want to hold on to it for the best target possible, but I think if we don't, then you might be losing out value. And we find a soul.
Oh, this could be anything. It would be really funny if it was Tribulate. Okay, it's Yorick. Polychrome Yorick. All right. You know, this might, I mean, what we've seen: Drunkard, Mystic Summit, Mail-in Rebate, and now Yorick. This is the worst ramen seed of all time.
Yeah, Halion not eating well right now.
All right, Scooty, considering this ectoplasm, I don't really hate it. But it does run the risk of hitting this this Mystic Summit. Luckily, we narrowly dodged that, and we get the negative photograph. Just going to be a solid ectoplasm for Scooty here. I mean, you want it to hit one of those Eternals. You already have the hand size voucher. Going from 9 hand size to 8 hand size is a little bit sad, but it's not that brutal as going from 8 to 7.
Yeah, I think taking the paintbrush voucher is just kind of insurance against, like, cornering yourself into a hand size 7 later on. Halion frustrated that he keeps getting levels where he doesn't want them, I think.
And for those saying, why didn't he sell Mystic Summit before the Ectoplasm? I think there's a very real fear of dying to the blinds right now without this Mystic Summit, right? You need, I guess, the holographic Jack, and you're not 100% confident if that one-shots or not, so... Wait, Halien's glass broke, apparently. Alright, Halien running into this Yorick here. But yeah, it looks like they did not need Mystic Summon. They probably could have sold out of it. But it's hard to make those judgment calls and be 100% certain about him. I wonder if we know that we don't need it anymore. Yeah, we're going to pick up this 6 cents. And Halien here, I feel like this Ectoplasm is a lot worse for Halien. Because you have to get out of the Cartomancer. And you could sell Abstract, but you don't want to sell 2 Jokers and then also risk a 1 in 3, right? I mean, Scooty with 2 Eternals compared to Halien's 1 Eternal Photo, it was just a better potential Ectoplasm for Scooty.
Yeah, like selling out of, what, 3 Jokers to get a negative photograph and then having to use $26 to get back to any amount of scoring Jokers is going to be a tough sell.
Absolutely. All right, another blind left to play for Scooty here.
Blind left for Halien.
Oh,
I keep doing it too.
My bad.
I
don't know why their names aren't even similar. I don't know why I keep mixing them up.
What gets me is when they're in the PvP and it puts the opponent's name on their screen.
Mm-hmm.
And looking over at Scooty's side of things, his Yorick is at 13 cards of 23, and so if he gets 2 full 5-card discards, he will get that X-Molt in the PvP round. Looks like Halien is in the exact same boat, so we'll see how well they're able to get those discards, because that is an amount of X-Molt that could make the difference in this next life.
Is that 13 out of 23, or is it like as in, do they need to discard 13 more cards?
I believe it counts up.
Because well, didn't they just get it in the previous shop? So how did they discard 13 cards when they only have 2 discards?
Maybe I am wrong then.
All right, Judgment is Zany Joker, not very good. So the advantage that both of these players have, so Halien here has the additional flush levels, right? Which is the hand that we are going to be trying to play. While Scooty has the Mime with a lot of steel in the deck, 4 steel cards in the deck here. But Halien could pick up this Blackboard, and that could be very impactful in the next PvP. We're going to skip it. Not 100% sure what we're looking for Halien. I guess Chad, of course, is lurking around every corner.
Yeah, and I think there's just the kind of thing where I've got lots of money, I'm going to re-roll down to at least under the interest cap and just see what comes along.
Alright, in this pack, Scooty decided to take the Diamond Jack. Halien taking that Red Seal 5, so this is the first Red Seal for either player. Halien having a Justice card up top, but I don't think they have a face card. Oh my god, Ankh is a big deal. Ankh is a massive, massive deal. If Chad ever shows up in the shop, Halien might just run away with this game. Scooty cannot utilize this Ankh at all. They have 2 other Eternals. And this is why sometimes you don't take Eternal negatives, because of the Ankh or Invis punish. And here it is right now for Scooty. This flash card doing almost nothing and severely punishing him. Okay, but is Halien just... Okay, surely Halien's like not gonna use it right now, right?
Not
okay,
sell
they're considering selling it.
Wow.
Okay, so... Okay, I want to talk about Ankh for a little bit, because I understand Halien might be thinking here, I don't want to use Ankh right now. That's fine. You don't have to use Ankh right now. I don't think you should use Ankh right now, right? But there's nothing wrong with just holding on to that guy, because you can just wait for more information. There's nothing saying that you can't wait for more information right now. So that is what he should do, right? If we roll into a Chad, we're going to be very, very upset that we sold out of that onk. And now a very, very significant advantage that Halion could have had in this game is gone.
Yeah, and even elsewise, you can hold that onk, and like you're almost never going to use 2 onks. There might be a time where Halion could, if you wanted to make 3 photographs, but using that first onk is going to put you in a situation where you've got something that you don't want to destroy, so then likely not playing 2 onks. And so even just holding that onk means when you make a different Spectral card in the next round, discarding another 6, you get something else rather than selling an onk for $2 and then putting yourself in the same situation on like the 1 in 19 chance it comes back as another onk.
Yeah, absolutely. Overstock plus in the shop for both of these players. And I mean, that's just going to increase our chances of seeing Chad, right?
Are we thinking about daggering this Yorick because it's worth like $8? Oh, we get the roll into the Eternal Brainstorm.
And now I feel pretty comfortable saying we are pretty heavily punished for not holding on to that one,
yeah.
right? I mean, here you can just buy the Brainstorm. Buy the Brainstorm, wait until you find something that can replace the Yorick, and then onk onto the Brainstorm photo, hope it hits Brainstorm, and then and then buy that alternate Joker that would replace the Yorick for X.
I mean, if he uses these 2 tarot cards and then plays the 6, he'll get 2 more Spectrals now. He's not copying Sixth Sense for this.
I can't believe it. I can't believe we're not copying Sixth Sense, the very copyable Joker. That definitely works when you copy it.
I don't know if you're being sarcastic or not, and I'm misinformed.
Oh, I'm being sarcastic. It doesn't
Oh,
work.
doesn't it? Oh, no,
No,
of course
it
it doesn't, because it destroys the card, doesn't it? I'm so...
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm way off base.
Oh, no, all good. Alright, this Ectoplasm went from being not really usable in a pack before to kind of being usable now, right? I mean, the fact that this Yorick is polychrome means it can't hit the Yorick, which is good for us, I think. There's worlds where we end up pivoting out of it in the future. So if we can isolate it onto only the Brainstorm photograph, again, if we find the Chad in the shop, we can just rip the Ectoplasm on the photo Brainstorm, guarantee it, and then easily win the blinds for the rest of the game.
Now, we have a to-do list on high card, but we are not currently copying it with Brainstorm. I wonder if he'll notice before ripping any hands here.
Yeah, another interesting thing to point out is because Brainstorm can only copy the leftmost card, if this Yorick gets up to 3x, we do want to copy the Yorick because it's going to be more powerful than the photo, but there's one problem, which is it only copies the leftmost cards. You can't put the Yorick in front of your base molt Joker. Like, you can't put it in you can't put it after the abstract to get the maximum value. So you're really going to be hoping to have high base molt in the hand levels, like the high flush level that Halion has, to get the maximum value out of this Brainstorm and Yorick.
I guess he might be worrying about just getting enough score to get out of the blind right now. But he does...
Now, holding on to all of this steel here, I wonder what hand we're looking for Scooty. I mean, we just don't really have a lot of base molt. Yeah, that's not going to be enough. No chips either.
Is he just going to take as much cash as he can get and get out with the life loss?
Maybe. I mean, he also has Copy Mime, right? I mean, Copy Mime still probably isn't enough, but it's closer. We can play a pair here, maybe.
Oh.
Anything with even slightly higher chips.
Not playing this Magician right now seems wild to me. The plus 20 on Yorick could... Yeah, there we go. Could be the difference maker.
Yeah, even the base molt before the Mime triggers, right? And okay, here's Halion isolating onto the photograph. And the brainstorm, so we both have negative photos. There's complete parity.
And an eternal bloodstone.
I mean, seems okay here. You need some kind of plan here. The game is getting shorter and shorter, and let's see, does Scooty survive here? And he does. He gets out with the 2-pair. Wow. Alright, Halion going to decide to pass up on the Bloodstone here, saying Bloodstone is fake, despite having a lot of flush levels, I feel. And also this Red Seal, you can pop a Lovers on there, and that could be very helpful.
And to-do list back on straight flush again. The rolls have not been super kind over on that to-do list today.
All right, Magician and the Hangman in the shop here. And Halion feels like they have to play this glass card here. I think that might be true. After all, they did sell a good amount of baseball. That's 59,000, but Scooty literally scored that much with just a 2-pair and a bunch of steel cards. Considering picking up the certificate over 6 cents on Scooty's side, I don't hate that at all. Can get some very good red seals potentially. Even
just any face card.
I mean, purples are gonna be, and like any face card, yeah, it could be very impactful.
Hack, duo, all things that Halion could take, because he's only got 5 jokers right now. Has 6 joker slots, must remember. Easy to forget sometimes.
Yep, absolutely. Hack seems decent to me. I mean, you get a single glass card. Even without the glass card, I mean, you can copy the hack with Magician, maybe make a lot of money. But we're going to take the duo for PvP.
I would probably sell out of this Drunkard for trading card.
I mean, I think Halion's just really valuing the Yorick scaling with the Drunkard here, just trying to get as much X-Molt as possible. And trading card kind of does the opposite of that, but it's still a very good Joker. And again, at any point in time, this Yorick could be leaving the lineup, depending on what Jokers are going to be coming in the seed.
Sells the duo to take the trading card.
I mean, I think I don't know. I feel like trading cards a little bit weak here. Just it's so late in the game, and we're kind of draw dependent, right? We really need the that holographic glass jack, or there's not really any chance of us winning this PvP. And now that we've used a discard on trading card, that is 4 less cards we will see this PvP, right? So over the course of the game, of course, removing cards from your deck can stack up, but there's just not much time. 2 lives to 3, and I'm pretty sure Halion's just in a weaker position this PvP specifically. So it might be 3-1 soon.
Well, Scooty, no steals in hand so far. There's 1. But obviously, much better if we can stack up 2 or 3 of them.
Yeah, but Scooty's not having very good draws. They still need like a face card for photograph, a decent hand to play. Because before they scored so much copying mine with the 2-pair because they had 3 steel cards in hand, and this draw is not very good. We have Jack 10 9 8 7. Okay, we have a straight. I guess it's completely fine here. Straight, decent levels. We get the photograph procs.
2 steals.
2 steals. Yeah, this is a very decent hand. And Halion on the other side, I mean, they missed their holographic jack, so I don't think there's really much of a shot for them to win this PvP, but we'll see. No lucky procs for Scooty. It's gonna be 300,000 to 88,000, and Halion's gonna go down to 1 life.
Yeah, big cash injection with that Red Seal gold card and the Lives Lost cash, but what can he find now to kind of turn the table on this game? That especially we often say, what can he find that his opponent can't? Because the cues are the same.
Well, I mean, a Justice card does benefit Alien marginally more because we have the Red Seal in the deck, right? We have the Red Seal 5. It's part of why I really wished we picked up the hack. That's a Mary Andy showing up for Alien. Gonna grab that and try to really scale this Yorick up. Are we gonna take Campfire for maybe some additional Exmo? I think with this Mary Andy pickup, we have few slots we can rotate out of. Sock and Buskin showing up. That is not what Alien wants to see, because that kind of removes the benefit of that Red Seal that we have in the deck.
Yeah, but also Strength and the Fool is 10s that we can make into jacks at the very least.
Yeah, absolutely. I wonder if we're going to take Acrobat over Drunkard here. I can't help but feel like this extra discard is not going to matter too much. But deciding to pass up on it. I mean, if we find something to replace this Drunkard in the next few shops, then that is better than Acrobat. Then it's good that we kept the Drunkard just for extra value in this blind and permanent extra scaling on the Yorick. But we do need to find something better than a 3x for this decision to be worth it. And
Scooty getting full value out of high card on to-do list and still making it out of the blind, which is always great for them. And the double value from a blue seal on their straights.
They're going to have very powerful straights. And I mean, can we talk about this to-do list for a second? Because this has been putting in work, especially with this Brainstorm showing up. It could have been game-ending if Alien made a few key decisions differently, specifically if they took that mail-in rebate or if they used the Onk on the photo, because they were able to do that. I mean, with the Sock and Buskin as well. Imagine they had an extra photograph with the Sock and Buskin. But because Alien did not do that, Scooty is not only unpunished, but in a phenomenal spot with the to-do list. I mean, there's so much farther... I was going to say they're so much farther ahead in the shop, but they've been keeping up in the shop at least, and a lot of it is on the back of the to-do list Brainstorm.
Yeah, like, I'm looking at the total spent, and I kind of can't believe that Alien has spent $70 more.
Yeah, I guess the Red Seal gold cards, the Red Seal gold card, and the Gold Seal as well.
And the losing of 2 lives is like $25.
Oh, true. The life loss comeback money, absolutely. What is Scooty going to sell for this Sock? It is a must-take, but you have to pick what are you getting rid of, the Acrobat, the Mime, or the Yorick. I think here I'm always getting rid of the Acrobat, personally.
Yeah, we've seen so much value on his side already from the Mime on the steel cards.
Yeah, I mean, for Mime to keep up with Acrobat scoring, you do need to have 3 steel cards in hand, but I feel like the Mime makes up for its spot in the roster with the value from the gold cards and the blue seals.
Interestingly, that earlier Scooty put glass onto an 8 rather than a face card and given the option to do so. Finds 2 10s, doesn't strength them.
Oops, all 6s showing up. Doesn't seem too useful, but you never know what could show up
Got
in the shop.
4 lucky cards is not insignificant.
I mean, keep in mind, we did pass on an Eternal Bloodstone at some point in this seed. The lineup could have been Brainstorm, Sock, Bloodstone, Oops, with photo as well. But
and Scooty making it out of the blinds very comfortably. Much more so than Alien, though so far Alien's not struggled in the blinds, but I look at his build that he currently has and it just kind of makes me anxious for the idea that we're not going to score 90,000 points nearly as easily.
Yeah, well, I mean, you got to keep in mind we do have a very high flush level. Yes, Scooty has the mime with the blue seals, but we're just able to play flushes a lot more consistently than Scooty can play straights to win the blind with a blue seal in hand. So Halion has very high flush level, and with the photograph and the brainstorm and the sock, we're looking at 3-4x multipliers.
And
that is not a flush right there.
It is not. Tons of spades still to find. He could have found it very easily.
Well, I mean, we got another one here loading up, and it does have a face card, which is what matters. Unfortunately, we draw the glass here, and because we already used our discards, there's not an easy way to get out of playing it. So it looks like that is what we're going to do.
Never punished.
And yeah, 857,000. That is more than Scooty scored last blind, but last blind they didn't have brainstorm sock. I mean, sorry, they didn't have sock. They did have brainstorm, I think.
And both players about to tick over on their Yoriks, but Halion's with 1x mult more right now because he's had so many more chances to discard, and he has the cash to roll.
There's a Chad!
Finds Hanging Chad.
Oh my goodness. I mean, imagine we had that extra photo. That's all I'm saying. Oh my goodness. Chad coming to save Halion when they're at 1 life left. I mean, that is massive.
And even Scooty rolling down to his very last dollar and not finding it because they are 2 rolls behind in the shop, 3 rolls behind.
Look at this business card. I know it's abandoned deck, but I don't even mind it right now. We have a few random face cards in the deck that aren't glass. Could consider selling out of the Mary Andy for it because we already got a lot of the scoring, but a lot of the scaling out of it for the Yorick, but we're going to go with this ice cream instead. We don't have a lot of chips. Maybe this ice cream can be like a 1.7x.
Well, on a flush, it's 150 right
now
on a level 10 flush, so it's only a 0.66x, really. Finds a flush with a face card.
These bonus cards. Yeah, I mean, this ice cream really isn't going to be doing not much with the re-triggers on the bonus cards, but...
Oh, Halion, put that glass first, thank you.
And yeah, Halion just really trying to figure out what is my best course of action for this PvP. They're going to just decide to rip this hand immediately. It looks like they don't have more glass in their deck.
The UI's saying too. They got the ace.
Cards, so they have the ace. Yeah. So they could look for that ace for an additional 2x if they feel like they need it. And yeah, it looks like that is what they're going to do here. I feel like if you're going to look for one specific card in the deck, you have 4 hands. I'm probably pretty comfortable dropping a few of the spades here.
No, he does play.
But no. Yeah, we're just going to play the hand.
It's probably going to be enough, even with Scooty having 2 glass. The re-triggers just aren't there for them.
Glass breaking is a little bit brutal for Halion, but... I mean, when you're sitting with photograph, brainstorm, Chad, sock, I mean, can you really be that upset? I mean, of course, they don't know that Scooty doesn't have this Chad. I think this score will probably indicate to them that he has a little something that Scooty doesn't.
Yeah, but with the breaking of that glass face card, now not having a face card to put on that front spot for the photo Chad is going to be a big damper on their current scoring capabilities.
Well, I mean, they still have just non-glass face cards, right? And I'm pretty sure they just win that PvP glass or without.
Yeah, true.
So there's an idol showing up. Now, if Halion finds this idol, it could be massive because the thing is that eternal to-do list has a very real price that you need to pay. And that is that Joker slot, right? If Scooty's taking this idol over Acrobat, they are locked unless they want to sell out of the Yorick, which you probably would need to do for something like a retrigger. But every single good Joker that shows up for the rest of this seed is going to make Scooty's lineup more and more cramped and give Halion an easier and easier time.
And I think neither player here really deck fixed into any individual card. They've been playing so many straights, so many flushes. There's any hit is possible in the whole deck right now, and so really we need to find those kind of strengths, those deaths, those the suit changing tarot cards, just to hold them for the PvP so that we can be flexible in those moments rather than trying to wait to get a good hit first.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the effort of the deck fixing has been focused into trying to get these face cards right for the photo chat, and since you don't start with 4 copies of the face cards, it definitely looks like quite rough if you look at the deck. But
Halion skipping
some
past
seeds
it.
just have a hard time, right? Oh wait, Halion skipped the idol.
Did not commit.
Wait, but we sold ice cream as if we were gonna pick it up, and then we didn't pick it up. Interesting. I mean, that does give Scooty a window back into this game. All they need is a singular good idol hit on a face card, and maybe some glass, and then Halion just loses the game. But that is asking quite a bit.
Halion taking the money play by putting the gold seal first rather than the face card, and no bother because the Yorick at 5x with 1.5 polychrome is getting us through these blinds without issue, so no worries there.
Yep. Calculated. And does Halion remember they have an additional Joker slot? This bean is phenomenal. We can just buy it before we head into the Arcana pack. Yeah, there it is. Gonna decide to roll for a little bit more tarots, maybe block.
No face cards for this glass.
Yeah, no face cards, but this Hermit, not so bad. You can grab the Justice anyway, just because, I mean, having glass to chat is not too terrible as well. I think you're always going to be chatting a face card over a glass card, though.
And neither player taking any of the purple seals that we've seen so far, although Halion is committing to his first. Oh, sorry, Scooty's committing to his first. Halion does have one somewhere. We just haven't seen it rock up very often today.
All right, now here's a hack for Scooty, and is he gonna take it? I feel like you probably need to. You see that score from your opponent last PvP. You know they're on some sort of re-trigger line. This Yorick is not gonna survive. And that hack is kind of your gateway to win. I mean, you don't have many face cards. The likelihood that idol hits a hackable card is much more likely than a face card. And like, once you have Brainstorm and idol, suddenly all that matters is the idol, right? Because you can copy idol with Brainstorm, and 4 times molt per trigger is just so insanely good that getting a flush 5 or like 5 copies of that idol card triggered, I mean, 4 to the power of 5 is just very high. Did Scooty have anything worth triggering on hack though? Yeah, idol. If you get the idol hit, and you have 2 lives, right? So because we have 2 lives, we kind of just need a gamble that we are going to hit a hackable card in the next few and over the course of the next few blinds, and then skip to the final PvP. It does outscore photo chat.
Right, are we going to find anything to replace this bean with?
There's a hack. We don't care about it as much since we don't have the idol.
Scooty with a single 7 of hearts in the deck, but holding a strength card probably has unless we've destroyed a 6 of hearts, I'm not sure, because we did have the oh, he's got 3 6 of hearts in the deck, so he's sitting pretty if he can strength some of those.
All right, considering selling this bean to pick up the acrobat, No steel cards in the deck, so you can't actually get any scoring for this PvP with the Bean. Otherwise, I maybe would have considered it, just guaranteeing our draw. Well, not necessarily guaranteeing, but making our draw much more likely, and holding on to some steel while we're at it. But we are going to go with the Acrobat, trying to make sure we win this next PvP.
And a Lovers for Scooty as well, meaning they can make another 7 into a 7 of hearts.
Scooty can get quite a few of their idol card, but I don't think it's going to be enough to win. Not when we don't have any re-triggers on the idol card.
What about full house jacks full of 7 of hearts with the glass jack re-triggering with sock and buskin photo ahead of it?
So I mean, if you're gonna do that, let's say you have 3 7 of hearts. That's what you said.
That's his maximum, I think, or possibly 4.
Yeah, because with the strength,
with a full house, it would be 3.
Yeah. So I mean, that is looking to be the best hand you could possibly play here. I mean, you get 8x from the idol. That's it, right? So if we're just counting for idol alone winning this PvP, it's 8x there. I mean, you could copy the idol as well instead of copying photo for like 2x more than you would get from copying photo. So let's say that play gives Scooty 16x molt. Then you have to think about the fact that there's much less chips in base molt than if we played a straight, and that's going to make the hand significantly worse. Meanwhile, this Chad for Halion is providing so much scoring with the Acrobat as well. I can't see it being enough.
No, and Scooty could make this 6 of hearts a 7 of hearts and then have it exist in the same straight as the jack and the 8 of glass, but might not just be enough right now.
Yeah, and Halion, with slightly incorrect hand ordering here, you are supposed to be copying the photo with the brainstorm and then chatting a face card, but because I mean it just makes sense to chat the glass intuitively, then maybe we're thinking we're just supposed to chat glass, but no, the photo chat is better.
Yes, these moments where I get hung up on these moments as well, and it's really the experience that pays off to just knowing what is the correct play in these moments, whereas some of the less experienced players or the players that don't do as much PvP in their off time find themselves kind of hesitating in these moments. I know I certainly do.
Yeah, I mean, it's just the fact that like the glass is 2x molt, and then you have the brainstorm with the photograph, so that means you have 2 photos. Each photo is essentially a glass card, right? So we basically have double glass on a face card here, which is why it's better to chat it. And Halion figures it out last second here. All right, 146 million points. Half as many points as they scored in the last PvP, but still plenty.
Now, is Scooty going to put these lucky cards ahead of these glass cards?
Yeah, since Scooty does not have Chad, you don't actually need to play the glass face card first. So getting potentially the lucky hits earlier is going to be better. I mean, ideally we don't play these glass cards at all since we know it isn't going to win, but... All right,
last life magic.
18 million. I mean, what does Scooty need to win here? They just need a phenomenal idol hit, maybe Chad showing up again in the shop. That's the type of thing we would need to see here. But again, because of this eternal to-do list, I mean, we're going to have to see the sell out of Yorick here if we run into the Chad.
Well, there's a Bloodstone.
There's a Bloodstone.
Roll straight by.
think this might be the third Bloodstone Halion see this game. It's definitely at least the second.
Yeah, if only we'd been holding
like
onto that
players,
all this time.
I feel like these players really don't respect Bloodstone. I mean, don't get me wrong, Bloodstone is fraudstone. I understand, but also it has the potential to be one of the better jokers in the seed, right? If we were playing Flushes of Hearts here, it's definitely at least better than the Acrobat since we have the Sock and the Chad.
And I'm really impressed with just how long Scooty's Glass Jack has held on for the number of times he's played it in straights through PvPs.
It's true.
And Scooty playing a straight and not getting out of the 200,000 point small blind.
They have a two pair here. I mean, is it? Yeah, no, surely it's not over. That two pair scoring 20,000. Funnily enough, this flashcard doing a lot of the work here. We need to copy the. We need to put the Brainstorm in front of the Yorick here for maximum potential scoring, but I think we could be out here. Decides to play a high card.
Oh,
confident that's gonna win, and it doesn't.
Wow.
And if we put the Brainstorm in front of the Yorick, we just win there. But or if we played the pair, I think we win there as well. We would have enough chips. That's crazy. That is a crazy way to lose. Wow. Just a slight miscalculation for $3. Oh my goodness.
And like it can be so easily done because in these games you have to make so many micro decisions, and to just think that Brainstorm's there copying the thing on the left. It's always copying the thing on the left, but it's not considering the thing on the second from left, and it's just such an easy thing to slip out of your mind, and it makes such a difference in these moments.
Oh, wow. Alright, well, Halion's gonna take game one here off of Scooty. And that was back and forth. that was crazy. I don't know. I thought Scooty was 100% gonna win for quite a bit, and then Halion found that Chad, brought it back, and then even up to this point, there was that idle. There was the potential for a face card idle hit, maybe some deaths to really turn it around, and just barely dying before we get to see a little bit more cinema here to this blind. It was crazy how the flash card was actually genuinely going to make Scooty live if we played it a little bit better. The flash card from the very beginning of the game.
Right, do I need to manually reset this UI now, or does it just do it magically, is my next question.
Did you do anything at the start of the game? Because Halion did have that practice game that he did, and it seems to have reset that by itself. So if you didn't have to do anything
I had to change it for Scooty's username.
Yeah, but did you do anything with Halion though?
No.
Okay, so it would probably automatically fix itself if I had to guess.
Yeah, I've clicked the +1 for the flags because Halion won a point, but we know what's going on. We'll see if it all updates when they get into their game.
And they started getting mushier.
They didn't care about the flavor, they just cared about the presentation, you know?
Mm-hmm.
That's what my parents thought of when they
have
had
any
me.
predictions on
Well,
the steak
good
and
luck,
deck here? It
Scooty.
looks like
Good luck.
yellow deck white steak was chosen.
That is it?
Yeah. Yellow deck white steak, and not gonna have much economy problems this game. Immediately starting with $14 on white steak.
And Scooty looking for the full house instead of a flush. Finds quads, that'll do it.
Absolutely.
And I'm gonna reset this UI.
All right, Bloodstone in. So you did have to reset. Okay. Bloodstone immediately in the shop. That is, I mean, look, an early Bloodstone, maybe a later Bloodstone, harder to take, but an early Bloodstone is just so indicative of where the seed is headed, right? I mean, it tells you very far in advance, okay, you see a Sun card, you really want that guy. Polychrome Shoot the Moon. That is an expensive Shoot the Moon. I think the fact that it's $10 might dissuade me from purchasing it, but you can't deny the immense power Shoot the Moon has to just win the first PvP. It's so much base molt. It's potentially more base molt than every other base molt Joker, non-scaling base molt Joker in the game. If you have 4 queens in hand, that's 49 base molt. And I mean, even something like Onyx Agate can't get that high. I mean, 5 times 7 is 35, so. Alright, we got Rough Gem Bloodstone. Deciding to pass up on the Hangman here for Halion. And did Halion roll an additional time because of Yellow Deck? It looks like they might have, because they have this Rough Gem and Scooty either passed it or didn't see it. Yeah, I mean, even right now, I mean, in this pack, Scooty deciding to take an Empress, not an Empress, sorry, the High Priestess instead of a Star card. Maybe they would have known to take that Star card if they ran into the Rough Gem. It looks like they must have missed it. Maybe it was in a Buffoon pack or something?
I'm not sure.
Not sure. Did you catch it?
No, I'm here trying to get the UI to say game 2 instead of game 1, because I've got it. Halion's got 1 point. I can make it do that, but I'm not sure where I make it say game 2.
I see it. So Rough Gem was in a pack after the small blind, and Scooty must not have opened the pack. On Yellow Deck, I feel like one of the things that's so important about Yellow Deck is make sure you don't get too much in your head about like, oh, I gotta save my money for interest. The money is there for a reason. You need to spend it. You need to utilize it to get an advantage, and maybe do that by opening the Buffoon packs. There could be Econ Jokers in there. And Halion is rewarded for making that kind of play. Halion trying to figure out, how do I greed the most possible? How do I even live this blind? A few draws that you can get here. 2 hands left, so we can use 1 hand as a discard. You can go 5, 4, 3 to ace, or looks like there's no 6s left in the deck, so that would be 2 possible draws, but the spade flush isn't looking too great either. Not many spades in the deck, only 4 of them, but looks like we think that we have a higher chance to draw. Well, we'll see what the discard ends up being. Okay, so we're gonna go for the spade flush here.
We get it. It's fine.
All right, there it is.
Scooty,
that was a close one, though.
With a holographic 8-ball, that plus 10 is going to do a lot in these early rounds. And 8-ball, as we all know, the commissioner's favorite. Whether it actually pays out with anything today, remains to be seen.
Uncertain. All right, and now Halion gets to make this decision about the Shoot the Moon with quite a lot more money because of this Rough Gem. All right, Strength. Maybe the Strength makes us want to grab this Shoot the Moon. I guess we can't afford both. And both players going to pass up on it. I mean, $10 is just so expensive. The really nice thing about this Scholar here for Halion is it makes the way that we get out of those blinds much easier. We don't have to worry too much. We can just play as many dimes as possible and then hold on to a few aces to win the blind with. But discarding an ace there is a little bit risky, unless we're just trying to 2-shot with a diamond flush and the other flush that we played.
And strengthening those queens into kings, that's his kind of card of choice for the game. Does find the flush. Could play high card to get $1 extra, although that dollar is made up for in the hand that you're not playing, so fairly moot.
Yeah, I mean, I think the real way to make more money there would be to play a lower value flush, one that allows you to win with high card, and then maybe you get fortunate and draw a 2 pair of the other diamonds that are left, right? Or I mean, you had the pair of kings, right? So you can play 2 diamonds on that last hand. So you just play with the really low value flush that doesn't win, and then play the pair of kings after. But yeah, I mean, just very minor min-max stuff that only gets you... It's one of those $1 decisions that just doesn't typically impact the game, but if you make a lot of them, maybe it adds up over the course of the game and really ends up mattering.
And neither player having the money or the decision with the money to take this discard voucher, which I probably would prioritize in a lot of places. If I want to find these flushes, these 8s, it's going to be much easier. Although Halion still has a whole set of rounds to do. Excuse me, I thought he was way ahead further in the shop.
Yeah, timer's ticking down here, but remember, in this rule set, the timer can go all the way to 0 a singular time before you start losing lives to it. And I think it would be wise of Halion not to worry too much about the timer. It's always the most risk of getting timered on the first PvP just because you have to play through 2 antes. If you can end up in a situation where you are timered before you even get to the ante 2 small blind, and that is what ended up happening here, but that can never happen again for the rest of the game. So if there is a timer that you're okay with going down to 0 on, it would be this one. Alright, not playing this diamond flush. I'm a little bit confused what the plan is here for Halion. Maybe they want to one-shot?
Maybe they're looking for an 8?
Oh yeah, I suppose so. Unsure if that flush wins or not with the holographic 8-ball. And so, yeah, being a little bit worried about that. They do get out with the high card.
Yep, there goes the timer, but now they can luxuriate in this shop. With Bloodstone, are you taking walkie-talkie over Scholar here?
I mean, I suppose your argument would be you can get a 10 of hearts and a 4 of hearts in the flush. I think I'm not too worried about the walkie-talkie here personally. I mean, if you really want to go for a tempo line, you could just sell the Cloud9, say Rough Gem is enough of money, but I don't really see much merit in swapping out the walkie-talkie for the Scholar. They both kind of just do the same thing. Walkie-talkie has the possibility to do a little bit more, I suppose.
19 diamonds, 12 hearts here. Just needs a negative smeared Joker and he'll be laughing.
Yep. Scooty clicking on this 0 timer being like, what's taking so long, man? Alright. Ramen picked up, and importantly, the discard voucher. There's going to be much more consistent draws for Halion the entire game. Anything that synergizes with discards as well, or looking deeper into your deck in general, like mail-in rebate, going to be more useful for Halion.
Of course, he's going to eat through this ramen faster, but so be it. Discarding hearts, not spades.
Doubt. Yeah, it seems like Halion wants to go for a very specific flush. I think another thing to point out is the Bloodstone really isn't doing much right now. Possibly these lucky cards have a higher impact than a heart flush would, unless the Bloodstone is going to hit almost every single time, right? Because the best you can possibly get from this Bloodstone is going to be a 7.5x multiplier. 4 times 7.5 is 28, I want to say. Yeah, just 28. So getting a lucky proc is almost the exact same, right?
The 8-ball with the Temperance is very big.
Yeah, and Halion just needs to score 100 more points. I don't think they could even lose this if they wanted to. If they play a couple of high cards with that holographic and the ramen, they probably are just forced to win.
Yeah, they can't score less than 60 points to try and get that diamond to then find the flush to play.
Yeah, going for the potential tarot card over the dollar here.
So Halion taking that first life pretty comfortably.
All right, Tarot Merchant going to be picked up for Halion here. Anytime, oh my goodness, Red Seal Glass. I was going to say anytime you have jokers that want you to do something with your deck, in this case, the Bloodstone really wants you to find a Sun card, for example. That Tarot Merchant is just going to be phenomenal, especially in Major League Balatro, where there's the access to that Justice card that times 2 molt on trigger. You find more of those are game-winning in and of themselves. And now that we have a Red Seal Glass 5 in the deck, having access to more deaths, more deck fixing in general, more Hangman, so we can draw it more often, is going to add up quite a bit over the course of this game for both players.
Something I'd like to see Halion do is to roll down maybe once more under the $25, because we know we're going to get that $5 back playing diamonds during the course of the hand. So he's not going to miss out on the interest, but could look deeper into shops while rerolls are relatively cheap still.
Yeah, I mean, Halion's at a very clear advantage here, it seems. Just having that extra economy and the extra life, just going to allow for a lot more options than Scooty has, really.
Didn't wait to find that glass Red Seal 4. I presume they want to make it a heart rather than a diamond. Free Emperor out of 8-Ball. 8-Ball actually doing things today is lovely to see. And Scooty with the Showman. If we find another Bloodstone or something, it could be a huge change of pace. But until then, probably not looking for a second Spaceman.
The Showman, again, really isn't doing much, but think about this: double 8-Ball. How about a pair of balls? How about that? Have you considered? I think that's an OP line.
I don't think it's actually allowed in the rules of Major League Balatro because Zeno would get too excited.
Ah. I see. Zeno would freak out too much, and that would, our commissioner might have a heart attack. We can't have that.
Hack?
And look at this hack. Oh my goodness.
Oh,
phenomenal hack.
Did Scooty, in that judgment, is a hanging Chad, and it looks like we've blocked out of something because Halion plays the same card, gets a bull instead of hanging Chad.
No, it can't be a block because
it's
it would
common.
be a block if the it must be like less judgments used or something, because if
every card is uncommon here.
I mean, 8-Ball's a common, but both players have it. I don't know. It must be a second judgment because there is no. The players have the exact same commons. I have no idea where that Chad came from. It must have been 2 judgments.
I mean, this pack does have a fool in it, so it could have been a fooled judgment.
Yeah, potentially.
And there is to-do list once again.
Selling out of 8-Ball Chad for to-do list on high card. My God. Zeno, you might want to look away. And Halion finds the Sun card onto this Red Seal 4. I'm leaving now. Alright, see you, bro.
Have a great night. Or afternoon for you guys.
I believe it's like 12 p.m.
Oh, because he's...
Sorry, it's like 12 p.m. for Zeno right now. I believe it is lunchtime for Zeno right now.
Clocks really screwed me yesterday because I was all there sitting on my phone. I got 45 minutes till my game. Everything's great. And then I get DMs like, where are you? And it's like, oh, your clock's changed on the weekend. Mine didn't.
Yeah, another really nice thing about this hack is going to be a lot more money with the rough gem, right? Every single one of those hackable cards is going to give an extra $1. Oh, wow. Look at 2 strengthening 7s into 8s for the 8-ball. I respect it. Is it gonna pay off? What do we have?
Nothing.
Absolutely nothing this blind. But over the course of the game, we're gonna draw more 8s. Question is, how long is the 8-ball gonna be on the lineup? Seltzer showing up as well. I mean, I'm taking it over ice cream again. This is just a money generator. This Seltzer. It can be scoring as well in this PvP with the Bloodstone. I think we have a critical mass of re-triggers enough that this Bloodstone is going to be the most relevant thing we can play for in this PvP.
Especially with this glass red seal 4.
Yeah, I mean, it is very scary to play this glass red seal, though. I mean, if that breaks, that could just be a GG, right? I mean, you lose the red seal glass, opponent's able to make a bunch of copies of it, but it could be a 1 in 4 that you're willing to gamble on for that life that you'll be taking.
Especially being up 1 life makes it feel like a little bit more comfortable, because if you can keep the tempo 1, your opponent might not get the time to make all those changes to death the glass card that they decided to hold on to.
Yeah, I mean, I really wonder, because I don't know, I feel like a lot of multiplayer players make decisions based off of like things that they're scared of. You know what I mean? Like you'll see somebody roll all the way down to $0 in case of a wraith, right? Or like, and it's like often the optimal play isn't to play out of fear. You know what I mean? You're not supposed to roll all the way down to $0. You're just supposed to roll enough to the point where you'd be comfortable taking a wraith if it decided to show up. Or like, and I think another big example is like this red seal glass, for example. If you know that it's going to win you the blind, I feel like the positive expected value play is often just play the red seal glass if you know it's going to win. I mean, like if you have that perfect information, which again is why a turn order is so important. Like, you really want turn order because that's going to give you the best information possible to make your best possible decision. But all
right, well,
3,000 points for Halion to 145.
Scooty on the turn order with his Heart Flush gets a little bit of blood to hanging Chad value, but it's not even enough to get past Halion's 3k.
Yeah, wow.
Very fickle Bloodstone.
I mean, that's huge for Halion. I mean, they get an extra hand on the Seltzer now. Very realistic that it might be lasting all the way to the next PvP as well.
And he also managed to play a pair of 8s, getting a Hermit card, doubling another $20. So he comes out of this, even with winning, twice the money that Scooty has.
I mean, this rough gem has been going crazy.
Scooty needs to play out of these tarot cards so that he can keep finding more of them. To keep holding them when we've got the voucher that produces more tarot cards in the shop, it just seems foolish to hold on to these tarot cards for the perfect moment rather than playing them and finding more of them.
100%. Emperor Justice deciding to keep the Emperor over the Hangman. That is a ballsy decision. Honestly, if I'm in this spot for Halion here, I'm just not re-rolling anymore as soon as I fill up my tarot slots. And the Emperor gives a Hangman anyway. But like, yeah, I mean, I'm just not using my rerolls anymore because I have full tarot cards of cards that I want to use, and we're selling the Hangman here. But every single time we roll into a tarot card, we just can't utilize it, and that is $14 rerolls. Those are some expensive rerolls. I will be very surprised if we get back up to that number again. And for Scooty here, are we going to sell out of this strength for the Hangman? No, we are not. Really valuing that strength. I wonder what for. maybe really trying to get a 5 of a kind of a hackable card online. Maybe that 5 of a kind of forest.
Yeah, neither player has kind of made any real moves towards anything like Flush House or 5 of a kind in either game yet, really. Some players try to get on, like, they'll get to a Flush House with a single Suit Changer card in the first PvP just by finding that full house and changing 3 cards, but right now it's just not as much deck fixing as I would expect to see at this moment in the game.
Yeah, Halion being really conservative with these discards. Maybe they're scared that this flush is gonna win. It absolutely could if we get the lucky hits. But my question is, what if it doesn't win? What if we don't get the lucky hits? What's the plan to get out of the blind then? Just look for a heart flush?
Well, he gets a cash payout.
So.
It's 5 hearts left in the deck, about 15 diamonds, so...
Yeah, we might be forced to play this 4. Oh, that's not the heart you want to draw. Oops, all 6s showing up just in time to throw a real wrench into this game. Oh my goodness. Okay, I love Oops All 6's Bloodstone in Major League Balatro. I think it's such a fun seed type to play just because the glass is always going to be better than the Bloodstone, but also it's so hard to play the glass with the Oops All 6's Bloodstone, which you need.
Halion thinking between, do I hack this too? Do I play the 8 for 8 ball? Do I play the glass? Does not play the glass.
I mean, we definitely don't need it. I mean, the diamond flush scored 3,200 with no lucky procs. So all we need is really just a few bloodstone hits, not even very many, and with a full retrigger on the Seltzer should not be a problem. Here's the dice. What's gonna go? Did this...
Is it...
Wait, what just happened? Are they still connected? It looks like they're still connected.
Yeah, the time...
It looks like...
One time is ticking down, the other's not.
We got the commissioner. It looks like... Okay. They might have just pushed an update, but it looks like they're still playing.
Yeah, I don't know why the timers are out of sync. Bean and Edsy on the other stream have had the same pop-up of something going on.
Yeah, it must be some sort of update pushed, and it looks like we're gonna sell out of the Seltzer for this Oops All 6s.
Like, yes, it was only destined
Oops
for
All 6s with
3 more hands, but is 8 ball that much value comparatively?
I mean, it's twice as powerful.
Yeah, true.
Oh, true. The timer didn't start for Halion. Huh.
So he doesn't
We'll see
know.
if it matters. I mean, it looks like they've decided to just keep playing. But I wonder if Halion's gonna lose a life to this timer, right? Because they already had one tick all the way down. We'll see if this timer ends up taking a life from Halion despite the ability they can't actually see it.
Yeah, that would be very unfair because he doesn't know that he needs to be going fast.
Yep. Alright, here gets the tarot card from the 8-ball. A little bit unfortunate that they were still holding on that Fool. I feel like they probably should have used it for the Hangman. Halion's position's not updating on Scooty's side. Yeah, they might have just been disconnected from each other.
Zeno is in their chat right now talking to them both, I believe. I can see them in Game Room 3. Can Scooty stop the timer if he clicks it again?
I think they're just not connected to each other right now. Like, I mean, you
I
can
guess,
see
yeah.
the timer's not updating for Halion, and it still says playing small blind for Scooty.
Yeah.
This might end up being a reset.
They might be able to click the reconnect button. Yeah, timer went to 0.
Timer ticked all the way down. Yeah, I mean, I'm just curious what's gonna happen when Halien readies up for this PvP.
Thing yet. I'm trying. How are they so fast? But how?
Oh, Halien finds hanging Chad as well. Gets out of the 8-ball.
Ah, man, Chad Oops All Six's 8-ball feels like it would be so much better than
I
the
think
rough
it's
gem,
DC'd.
but yeah,
I think
no,
it's
they're
DC
both
'cause
ready
I
up for
just
the
hit ready.
PvP.
Oh, okay.
All right, they have disconnected.
And
Damn.
yeah,
How
no,
are we
it's
feeling about this
it's
one?
cooked.
Oh, dude, I
It's
was
cooked.
so excited.
I mean, I just feel really bad for Halien here because I feel like they were set to be winning this game. Really, I mean, they're in a very commanding position. Having this rough gem, having that significant econ advantage. But yeah, I think it's probably just gonna be a reset. I don't know for certain.
Yeah, I think it's not clear cut enough that they could call it one way or the other unless the players decide to do so. But I don't know what our rulings here would be.
Builds are like the exact same.
Your builds are pretty similar.
Is Zane okay? Is he eating a Ritz cracker?
No, I'm just sick.
Oh, poor Zeno. Sorry, Zeno.
You can try unstuck.
Oh,
when
there's
you
an
click
unstuck
escape,
thing?
But there is, but it seems like you two somehow
I think
disconnected
Zeno's
from
in the
each other.
VC talking to
He
them
certainly
right
is.
now.
I'm listening in right now.
Yeah.
I think Bean and Edsy, they just finished their game and they also like disconnected out of the lobby, so maybe. Oh wait,
Interesting.
Is it
Alien's
work-
in.
I'm in a PvP. What about you, Scooty?
I am not.
Okay. Try
Did
hitting
you try
the
it?
stuck thing. Unstuck from the menu, maybe?
Stuck outside PvP, click that.
Yes.
They're trying to just head into
Oh.
the PvP anyway.
They're
but
in?
Maybe?
I
Are we in?
highly I
guess we'll
highly
find
doubt
out.
like when they
Yeah.
play their hands.
Okay,
Oh,
all
great.
right, well.
we revealed all our secrets,
right?
but...
Well, we probably knew, but
I just don't
Right.
think they're connected.
Okay,
I mean, we'll
well.
see, but
Yeah, well,
We'll see if these scores report for one another.
Oh. Let me see. Do you see my score after this? I played one hand.
No.
yeah,
it's
no,
already
it's
counted.
Yeah, it's not counted.
yeah, they're
up.
just not connected to each
Oh,
other
I
here.
didn't-
Uh,
I mean, just unfortunate update
might be
timing, I
all teammates
suppose.
then, sadly.
Maybe.
Like,
this is
don't
good-
I?
this is a fun
Do the
seed.
people that
I
run
guess-
the
I guess
run
we'll
the
just play this out
the
real quick and
updates
just
not
make
know that
sure, like,
Major League is running
not
this
sure
week and
something-
that they probably shouldn't
Yeah.
push the updates
something like that.
while they know our schedule? But maybe that's just me overthinking it.
Well, I mean, they know that Major League Balatro is happening, right? But
And it's not necessarily their
think
prerogative.
their
after this
yeah,
PvP,
their
if they
prerogative
go
is
just
more
somehow.
on just like pushing updates for the people who are like playing multiplayer, right? Like they're not really. I mean, I think it would be awesome if there was more communication between the team who's pushing updates and like the schedules. I think probably a way to like prevent this from happening pretty consistently is just push the updates on the weekends, but I don't think it's necessarily like it's not really within Major League Balatro's power to like dictate that.
Oh no, of course not.
To the devs, I suppose. But it is unfortunate for sure.
Well, Halien takes this life.
Mine doesn't even say waited for
Huge.
enemy to finish.
And let me try unstuck again. Maybe we should just give up soon, though.
MLBA feeds the
Yeah,
overall
I'm getting
multiplayer interest, i.e. it gets new people into it. I feel it's a mutual interest. Yeah, I would agree. I think that it is in multiplayer Balatro's best interest to make sure Major League Balatro runs smoothly. I would agree with that statement.
Before game one, I had that same warning, but then game one just worked. So
Huh.
No, they pushed an update.
All right, well,
Looks like
Halien was up 4-1 that game.
it looks like they are going to take a
They did
moment to
play on-
update mods. I'm going to run to the bathroom real fast then.
All right, see you in a bit. You know, it is definitely in their best interest to make sure it runs smoothly, but there's like a hold on. I don't know. There just needs to be more communication, right? There just needs to be more communication. I don't really have any fingers to point, right? It's like I don't think you can necessarily say this is the dev's fault, and I don't think you could say that this is necessarily Major League Balatro's fault either, right? I think that both of them have a shared responsibility to communicate about this kind of thing, right? It seems to me this was an urgent catch on the recent update, which they did push when MLB was not on. They likely had to emergency fix and had no choice but to do it ASAP. Yeah, that's also a very real possibility, right? I mean, you push an update, there's a bug that you didn't anticipate, and it's completely screwing over the queues, and you gotta fix it. And it's more important that the update gets out than a Major League Balatro match is interrupted, just because like there's a bunch of people like playing the game and you want them to have a good experience. All right, looks like we are resetting yellow deck white stake.
All right, I've got the overlay reset. I hope it's reset on your end as well.
It is. All right, we're back at it here. Hopefully no more interruptions. It turns out that they did push an update outside of Major League Balatro schedules, and then something went wrong with it, so they had to do an urgent like hot fix. I suppose is what happened.
That's very valid.
Yeah. All right, Stuntman pick up from the Buffoon pack. You know, I'm not gonna lie, I wouldn't have hated to see. Okay, I know it's crazy. Maybe Grimbo was a purchase there. Probably not ever. Because any base molt Joker that is unconditional is gonna be better, especially mail and rebate showing up now. But it's just so important if you're going to take this Stuntman on white stake. It has one job and one job only, and win the first PvP. And the way you win the first PvP with a Stuntman is find any base mode, find a Mystic Summit, find a Jolly Joker, find literally anything whatsoever to provide some base mode with the Stuntman, and then you should just be winning the first PvP. And that's why I was saying maybe consider the Grimbo there, but yeah, probably not.
I would have liked to have seen Halion made some kind of random cards into clubs in that Arcana pack. I would have liked to have seen him take a pair of something just to have the option of flush houses available in the group of cards, but that's totally on his decision.
Purple Seal taken over a Polychrome 6 for Scooty. Honestly, because of Justice existing, I feel like that makes a lot of sense. Polychrome's only 1.5x. It's probably just going to be more important to have more access to tarot cards, more Purple Seals, more Justice, more Death. The Red Seal Glass is going to be better than Polychrome anyway. So, yeah, both of these players selling out of the Stuntman before maybe I would have liked, but I mean, maybe Halion saying the ice cream pickup makes it easier to find these mail and rebate cards, right? I mean, there is a very real problem with playing the Stuntman, and that is you lose a lot of value in the blinds with the rebate, right? I mean, maybe you win too fast if you find some baseball and you don't have the opportunity to farm the money, and the money's very important.
Yeah, knowing your opponent's almost certainly got that card as well. Like, if you keep it and they don't, and they discard into cash and you don't, there's kind of a big disparity where you can't know what your opponent's doing, but you don't want to be left behind in the queue just for having enough chips for one PvP, perhaps.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think that makes a lot of sense. I think if you could find a way to play all 4 of your hands with the Stuntman, and just only win on the last hand, it would maybe make more sense to hold on to it, because only missing out on 2 cards isn't that big of a deal, right? I mean, you miss out on 2 cards, maybe that's $5 from the rebate. It's unlikely.
Scooty taking Showman over Egg.
I think that this makes sense here. Because we have this mail-in rebate, we are going to see farther in the shop. Showman scales with how much money you have. The more rerolls, the more jokers you can see, the more likely that Showman is actually going to do something. And
Stuntman comes back.
And here specifically, we can get a second mail-in rebate, and that would be phenomenal. I mean, this Stuntman does not lose you value. I mean, it has the chance to, because again, you see 2 less cards at all, but it's right before PvP. I mean, that Stuntman would have completely just won this PvP, no questions asked, and lost very minimal value. I feel like that was definitely a Stuntman there.
And neither player even thinking about the seeing double. Like, for the PvP, seeing double, I think, could have had some amount of value as a ×2, especially if you can play a full house with some diamonds and a club.
Potentially, I think maybe the greedy Joker is really pushing Scooty in a direction that's saying no seeing double, because we just want to play a flush of diamonds. But of course, you could get that full house. I think the best Joker lineup you could have for this PvP is gonna be greedy Stuntman, though. All right, nice little full house coming out here from Halion.
Once again, Scooty playing faster, getting to that timer reasonably quickly. Halion, if he isn't quick about his decisions, could 0 out, and obviously no life on the first time, but we've seen in the past Halion taking a lot more time over his decisions, and we just don't want that to culminate in him either rushing through a shop where there's value to be had, or losing a life because that timer goes all the way down again. But here, they've both now re-rolled through the shop the same number of times this blind, but Scooty has a whole, Halion has a whole other shop still to work through, so. But not going to get any value from discarding 2s here. But with so much cash, going to see quite a bit deeper into this set of queues. And now they see the same pack. Ice cream's gone, and they do go for the egg, for the economy nest egg, and we immediately sell out of it for +15 malt on abstract. I cannot hear Vagabond anymore. I don't know if he's stepped away.
Oh, I'm sorry. I muted my mic for a second because
you're good.
I had to do some typing, and I didn't want that to come through the mic because it's really loud.
No worries. I was just, as long as it's not technical difficulties, that's fine.
No, that's my bad. I forgot to unmute. It's a good, thank you for pointing that out. So I was gonna say, this abstract Joker with Stuntman. I'm just gonna keep bringing up the Stuntman. I mean, anybody have problems with me keep bringing up the Stuntman? Like, it was such a good Joker here. I don't know. I think it's slept on so heavily on White Stake. I genuinely do. I think it just wins the first PvP so often. It just wins the first PvP so often. Like, imagine 250 chips on that hand is a 6x mult. We would have scored 12,000 instead of 2,000. That's so many points, Gothic.
Yeah, and even, like, if you just play your high cards with Stuntman, score some points, use your discards to get rid of your 5s or whatever card your mail-in rebates on, and just farm the cash, get out of the blind very comfortably because you have 250 chips in tow.
You can sell Stuntman after. You don't need it after the first one. I mean, it's very likely the Stuntman's going to get outscaled over the course of the game, and you just sell it immediately after the PvP. You take your life with it, and then you, because it's going to be very hard to min-max rebate in an actual blind with the Stuntman and Abstract. But for this PvP specifically, it was phenomenal. But Halion is going to take it anyway, and they do have, I think, large part to this Abstract Joker that they got from spending more. The total spent $123 to $70.
Second Lucky Cat.
Getting further in that Lucky shop. 2 Lucky Cats for Scooty because of the Showman. Oh my goodness. We might get to see 2 Chonkers on Scooty's side of the board. That would be very exciting.
Every time I try and say Showman's name, I have to hesitate and second guess myself because I go for the old name first.
What was Showman's old name?
Ringmaster.
Oh. Now that name does have a lot of aura, but I like Showman better. I think. Maybe because I'm just used to it, but. And yeah, it's going to be really hard for Scooty to min-max this mail-in rebate. I mean, we're kind of relying on the clubs to get out of this blind here, and because of that, we're holding on to 5 cards, really not being able to see too deep in our deck for this mail-in rebate.
And Showman gone for Hallucination, trying to keep farm those tarot cards. Because if we're going to be opening the packs anyway, we might as well be getting 50% extra value on them.
Yeah. And Halion able to min-max this rebate so much better just because we have consistent base mult. We're never going to be worried about getting out of these blinds. All we need to do is play low chip hands and then play like a pair or a 2-pair after, and we should be fine. Baron showing up for Scooty. Gonna sell one of the Lucky Cats. Unlucky. Unlucky. I wanted to see 2 cats. And here's the Onyx Agate. Halion could pick this up. It is a lot of points.
And he has been moving between getting hearts and clubs on board at the cost of spades and diamonds. So an easy pivot to make.
Alright, considering selling out of the golden for the hallucination, I feel like now that we have this Onyx Agate, this walkie-talkie just is not relevant anymore. So maybe slight misplay, but to be honest, when we have this mail-in rebate, it's not like that golden joker mattered too much anyway. Look at this Spectral pack. I think it's always Immolate, but you could feel like a bit of a gambler and go for the Wraith.
Hard to do when you're sitting on $35 though.
Yeah, but what if it's a blueprint?
Then it's a $35 blueprint.
Oh, I would pay $35 for a blueprint.
Halion strengthening 4s into 5s just to discard them, even though we're holding the walkie-talkie. So walkie-talkie really needs to get out of here.
Yeah. I mean, strength or rebate angle is one of the goofiest angles of all time, but hey, that's a $10 tarot card. I don't mind that. Alright, now I'm interested in seeing what Halion does here. Rolls past the Baron, not a single thought about it being possibly a high card seed. It is much less likely to be high card on White Stake, I feel, especially with all the re-triggers. I feel like you can get high card online earlier potentially than re-triggers on Gold Stake if you run into like Shoot the Moon, because there's very, very powerful high card jokers like the Shoot the Moon early, and then maybe make that work. But on White Stake, it feels like the re-triggers with Glass are almost always going to overtake the high card with Idol, unless you get Baron, Mine, Blueprint, Brainstorm, Invis Joker, the whole shebang, right?
Yeah, I think I've never gotten a high card build to work in a PvP game, and just knowing that at the very least you really need that Baron Mime combination, that's 2 specific jokers, as opposed to I can find Idol, I can find Ancient, I can find Bloodstone, I can find any number of re-triggers. it's just such a breadth of options rather than going, okay, I'm playing high card and I need these 2 very specific jokers to show up to feel even remotely competitive.
Yeah, and I mean, don't get me wrong, high card builds are still rare in like the rule set that a lot of multiplayer players normally use. But it does happen a lot more often just because of the fact that there's not justice in the tarot pool. And so you can beat high card with literally no retriggerable X-Molt jokers, right? No photo, no idol, no nothing, as long as you're just playing glass cards. So yeah, I mean, this Baron's very speculative. It's gonna be quite demanding, but we'll see. And yeah, it looks like both players did end up taking that Immolate. No Wraith for either player. Definitely, I think the higher expected value play by quite a significant margin.
Just something to note is the disparity in the players' vouchers at the moment. So Scooty with that 3rd consumable slot and Halion with $10 of available interest, but both players not having the other player's current voucher.
Yeah, I mean, I'd definitely rather have Scooty's Joker than Halion's, let me tell you. That seed money is going to be providing $5 extra around as long as we stay at this interest cap, but there is a price that you're paying when you're holding on to this much money. I mean, you're not re-rolling when you could be re-rolling, and who knows, maybe that's going to be the difference maker.
Another instance of strengthening into 7s to discard them for $10.
I mean, it seems like Halion really likes playing with these flushes. His 3rd game in a row, we've seen pretty high flush level. Or at least prioritizing flush. I mean, it makes more sense since we have the Onyx Agate, but maybe you could have tried to go for just building for the future, right? Make more face cards.
Do we think this straight
these kinds of plays
points?
though? I think it does. I mean, we have so much base molt. I think it's probably enough chips as well. The holographic and the abstract, it should be plenty. Yeah, there it is. And now it's going to be 4 lives to 2. Scooty at quite a big disadvantage here.
And the reserve parking, a great thing to see if you are building into a high card build.
I mean, I don't even necessarily think that's true, because a lot of the problem with reserve parking and on a high card build is you ideally don't want to beat the blinds until your last hand with reserve parking, because you want to play multiple hands and not win. But if you're full pivoting into high card build, it's really hard to draw face cards that aren't like Steel Kings or Queens with Shoot the Moon, and then you just win too fast. So I don't necessarily think the reserve parking is too phenomenal with a high card build, but I mean, it is an econ joker that could be beneficial, and we're skipping the Pluto. It feels like Scooty's just holding onto this Baron as a source of potential X-Molt for PvPs.
And obviously, Halion picking up the trio. Harder to play with the flushes that he has been playing, though he has done some suit fixing, though I'm not sure he's got 3 of anything right now.
I mean, maybe not super beneficial if we're going to play flushes, but I highly doubt we will be playing a flush in the next PvP. I mean, we find a single suit changer that is going to be a flush house. I mean, ideally we get the Moon card, but now with this trio, maybe the Onyx Agate isn't super important, since we have the holographic on the business card and a lot of base molt from a higher value hand. Maybe the 3x is going to be more impactful than the Agate.
And already holding the world card, so he will be able to fix something into spades at the very least. Erosion at plus 24. But nothing kind of base multi required at the moment. I guess you could swap out of Onyx Agate if you think you're going to cull down the deck even further.
Absolutely, you could swap out of agate if you so desired, but there is a very real advantage to having the molt on trigger instead of just in the Joker roster. I mean, if you can get that molt to go off before a photograph or before maybe an ancient Joker or something along those lines, the Onyx Agate could be more valuable than erosion in that sense, even if the erosion has more molt.
Yeah, especially, I guess, holding the Baron, it does go on the card scoring before the King's score in hand for the 1.5x's and the steals. Halion just looks so pained when he's making these decisions.
Yeah, considering selling out of Onyx Agate for Lusty Joker? Interesting. Okay, well, now a hack is going to show up, and I feel like we're forced to take it. But I suppose Halion does not share the same opinion on a hack as I do.
Also, immediately rolled past a world card. Sorry, a moon card.
Well, I guess the moon card doesn't really matter if you don't have the Onyx Agate.
No, right? But if you'd have kept it, it would have
anymore.
been right there for the taking for the flush house capabilities, perhaps.
Yeah, well, we have the world card, so it's the same thing, right? I'm a little bit confused why we were valuing the Lusty over the Onyx Agate, though. That doesn't quite make sense to me. Maybe we already have a flush house of hearts or something along those lines. We'll see what Scooty does with this hack, though. I mean, if they pick it up with a glass card, could easily be the PvP win here, especially with the Onyx Agate. And yeah, no, I mean, both of these players just saying, you know what, hack is fake. Wait, Scooty lost a life to the blinds. I didn't even notice.
Oh,
thank you, Zano, for pointing that out. I mean, Halion might be doing something similar here, unless we get a little bit creative with the tarots. We just played a hearts flush, and it only scored 3.6 thousand. We need a little bit more sauce than that.
And Halion did not discard very deep because he was holding those hearts, only discarding a few cards looking for the 6 rather than committing to discarding through some of those hearts to find the 6.
Alright, well, here's a club flush. It's not going to come with the additional base molt like it did before with the Lusty Joker. Only 1,000 points getting put up here. We can use a world card, make another flush with these aces. That will proc the 3 of a kind on the trio.
And
if we need to.
He did get a lucky card payout for the cash. So if he can get out of this with the life intact, he's going to have tons of money coming into this shop. And 4 of a kind will be fine.
Yep. Yeah, Halion is fine here. Now with this 4 of a kind draw with the trio. 18,000 put up. And now I wonder what Halion's plan is for this PvP.
Just roll into Bloodstone. That's the plan.
True. True. That sounds like a great plan. I mean, buying more of these flush levels, I mean, it's not the worst as long as we do have a plan to utilize this trio in it. I mean, if we get a 3 of a kind in the flush, could be possible.
Glass Deuce of Hearts.
Yeah, that seems good. I think you just take that. You can incorporate that into the flush. That's one of the very nice benefits of playing flushes is you can just grab anything from a standard pack and throw it in there. The Red Seal 6 also looks phenomenal as well. We have 4 lives. If we can maybe build into that, get the Red Seal glass online there, could be a play. But it looks like Halion's just gonna look for the kill here with that glass. Taking another flush level. Okay, we're selling the world card, so it looks like Halion has no plans of getting a 3 of a kind in this PvP.
So, flush versus high card, unless, I guess, Scooty's still playing club flushes to end out his rounds.
Yes, I mean, we're not really in the high card build just because we have a Baron and some steel. The one mistake Scooty can definitely make here is just holding on to too many kings here. It's more important that we get a decent clubs flush. Maybe with this moon card, we feel more comfortable doing something like this. Okay, we're gonna moon card over the kings. That's interesting, but if we're planning on playing the kings, we can't hold on to them.
Yeah, with the moon card, I would have liked to have seen the flush house into full house into flush house path, holding the justice to make something into glass, but
yeah, holding on to the justice is a very risky play for Scooty here. I mean, it's not like we're guaranteed to get another club flush by any means. I mean, we did rip the emulate, so we have maybe slightly more guaranteed draws, but we're really asking a lot of our deck here and getting rid of another club, the club 6. I mean, I don't know how many moon cards they've used so far. I mean, maybe Scooty has a flush house in their deck that they're aware of, and they just really want to play the flush house with the justice.
Well, he does get the flush.
The draws don't look great for Halion either, though. And I mean, if they can't find a decent hand here, they might just be cooked regardless. All right, and here's the flush coming out from Scooty. It's going to be putting him up to about 40k, maybe a little bit more.
Interesting. He did not need to play that glass card. He had turn order, and he could have held it just to see if Scooty could get past him, but doesn't hurt him because he does not see that glass card break.
All right, full house from Halion. Gonna utilize that gold seal, get the trio value as well. I don't think Halion actually has a way to win this PvP. The flush does not activate trio, and also Scooty had X-Molt and much higher base molt from the Onyx Agate in their flush, so I don't think this is close. They're gonna play glass anyway just to see, and it's gonna be 17,000.
I did think his webcam had stalled on that face for quite a while, and now it has disappeared, so indeed it had frozen. And an idol,
right.
2 of hearts versus king of diamonds, so seeing them already out of sync because of the deck fixing that has occurred, what might we see them get rid of for this? Because you know it's going to happen.
Yeah, looks like the 6 cents getting sold out for Halion here. Gonna pick up the idol for the 6 cents. It is really unfortunate for Scooty that an idol has showed up while they are at 1 life. Small thing I want to point out, shoot the moon. A roll after this idol, maybe that will make Scooty think that the high card line is the play. Shoot the moon Baron can be powerful, especially if there's a red seal king in the pack. But it still does get outscored by the idol on a hit.
And we pass
and
over the idol.
It. Scooty just says, no idol, I don't need it.
Thinks it's fake.
And that's really funny because game one, Scooty actually was the one with the idol, and Halion was the one that skipped it.
Like, I feel if I was in any PvP game, I could be in the trenches of that PvP game. If idol appears, I feel almost compelled to take it because
it's so good. It's so good. It's so powerful.
Like, maybe harder to choose when you are down on 1 life, but
I mean, I will say it can cost you the game if you take it and your opponent doesn't, and then your idol just misses. I mean, that's what happened to me game 2 on Gold Stake. I invised onto Eternal Idol, and Raffle invised onto Baron, and my idol never hit, and he won with consistent high card every round. But I mean, that makes more sense on Gold Stake, why that would be a winning line.
And Scooty's flush still just on level 1. I think Halion's is about 5 or 6 now, so some difference there. The glass jack breaks. $
23,000 points for Scooty. I wonder if we're going to pick up the Shoot the Moon to try to go for this high card line with the Baron and the Red Seal King. I mean, I'd have to imagine that is the line if you're going to pass up on the Idol. Tarot Merchant picked up for Scooty. I definitely like that. You really need the tarot cards, and looks like we are going to be skipping the Shoot the Moon. The Onyx Agate is going to be enough base molt for us.
Now, how many 6s do we have left to even potentially find, I wonder?
He hovered over his deck for a second there, but I didn't quite catch it.
Oh, well, there's some good candidates.
Whoa. Yeah, there we go. Well, we got at least 2.
Oh, a cryptid. You love to see it.
Oh my goodness. That is a phenomenal hit for Scooty. Because Cryptid on that Red Seal King, going to do a lot of work for our scoring.
And of course, Halion sold out of 6 cents, so we'll not be finding that cryptid.
Yeah, I mean, I think Cryptid is genuinely the best possible hit for Scooty right now. Genuinely, I think there is not a better Spectral. Maybe Immolate is up there, but I think Cryptid at this point is the most desired.
He just needs to get that Red Seal into something that isn't wild. Whether that is some glass or some steel, it just needs to be doing something more than just being a wild card.
I feel like it's a little bit greedy to hold on to this Cryptid until you get an enhancement, especially when we don't really have an Econ Joker. We just have this Gold Seal, so it's going to be kind of hard to not just get the enhancement in our inventory slot, but also draw the King in the blind in time. I feel like I just rip the Cryptid here and then take enhancements as they come, but
yeah, I kind of wasn't thinking about the last life status here for Scooty.
Yeah, and Scooty, considering just playing this flush here, I think it does win. It is a club flush with the foil, and then you have the Red Seal King in hand for the Baron. X-Molt Glass as well, gonna be considering playing that. I think they should be okay here. Wow, $23 hit for Scooty.
And glass intact.
At 200. Yeah, they definitely did not need to play that glass there. Alright, it's a pretty good hangman.
Halion still with this mail-in rebate. And now $130 ahead in spending.
I just realized Scooty actually does have that extra consumable slot, so holding on to this Cryptid is not as bad as I thought it was. It's quite fine, actually. We might be forced to use it in the PvP, though.
And we sell out of the +4 clubs back into Erosion. It comes back around.
Yeah, so I guess the next question of this seed after Scooty goes next and readies up for PvP is going to be, what is this idle hit going to be for Halion? Is it going to be workable? Is it going to be something we can utilize? I mean, we are playing flushes. I mean, of course, the best possible hit right now is going to be that King of Hearts. We do have quite a few of those, and our Red Seal is on it.
And he sees that $23 payout from the lucky card, just as Scooty did. 7 of clubs, probably not great. Oh, he's got 2. And a death card.
He's got 2. He also has a death card in the shop. That's not bad at all. I really like this ordering from Halion here, grabbing the Hangman and the Emperor before you go into the pack. You can use the Hangman, and if all the Arcana pack tarot cards are bad, you can actually use the Emperor, and the tarot pack will block all those bad tarot cards, and you can get maybe a better, maybe a higher chance of Hermit or Temperance or Death or whatever.
Destroying a 7 of Hearts Gonna be sad if we find a moon card, but so far not terrible.
Definitely want to use that tower. Just anything to decrease the amount of idle hits in the deck.
And
just unfortunate because there's not really anything you want to use that tower card on. Maybe you overwrite a gold card or something. But yeah.
And putting glass on a queen instead of a 7 of clubs they were holding. I guess they're focusing on their card of choice rather than the card presented to them with 3 lives still to go.
I mean, here I would really like to see the sell out of the devil and then Fool the Justice in the hand. I mean, we can create red seal glass and get an extra copy of it, and that can be very powerful if we build up a few of those over the course of the game.
And now, in this shop alone, or this blind alone, Scooty rolling 6 times, Halien 13.
Yeah, big money differential here. It's I mean, there's no rebate for Scooty. There's no business card for Scooty. There's just Halien is going to be making a lot more money over the course of this game, and right now the Baron is stronger, just because there's no re-triggers. The idol missed, and Scooty's going to have a cryptid, but give it a couple Anthys. That's how much time Halien has. They have 3 lives here. And they might be pulling up with Flush 5 Glass to the final PvP. Flush 5 Red Seal Glass, even.
Now, what king are you waiting for if you're going to pull Cryptid in this PvP because it's your last life? What king are you waiting for? The Red Seal?
It's got to be the Red Seal, right? I mean, of course, Scooty needs to sit here and get maximum possible information to know whether they're okay to full greed or if they need to gamble on the very unlikely chance that they do get this red seal here. And Halien's going to use these deaths a little bit early on the gold seal kings, and I mean that's going to be a good money play, but I feel like long term you really want more red seals. Alright, maybe we're gonna go halvesies. One on the gold seal, one on the red seal. I wouldn't hate it.
Still holding this death, perhaps thinking he'll go full house with the 7 of clubs, but without re-triggers, it's just not going to do really much of anything.
Yeah, it's not going to be anywhere near enough. It would be tragic if we death the 7 of clubs at this point. I feel like you just got to commit one way or the other here. And yeah, here comes the discard. Just able to full commit here, and it looks like Halien's going to value the gold seals over the red seals here.
I would have liked to have seen the 7 of hearts get deathed instead of the queen, because the queen we can still strength into a king.
Now, that could have been a slightly more efficient play, but probably won't matter too much over the course of this game. Immediate death in the shop. And Scooty has yet to use this cryptid. Still only has 1 red seal, so despite Halien not using the deaths on the red seal, they're actually gonna have the same amount of copies. I guess Halien still Scooty still needs to rip the cryptid though.
But the cash difference
Mail and
here.
rebate is pretty big. Mail and rebate on kings is very nice for Halien here. We have so many of those in the deck. Are we considering deathing this king right now? Surely not. No, just ripping the magician maybe.
And Scooty, with these 3 consumable slots, able to discard these purple seals while still maintaining those incredible held cards, whereas Halien's going to have to shuffle through stuff a lot more aggressively.
Yeah, and again, Scooty's really hoping for an enhancement. I feel like a devil would be phenomenal. Chariot, of course, the most high roll thing we can get in this situation. Alien gonna skip on a hangman in order to preserve a lovers on an idle seat. I feel like that's a pretty big mistake. -2 cards is a big deal.
This one I've made before. I had Perkeo, and I was just holding on. I had like full death and lovers, and rather than getting rid of the lovers and just letting death be the thing that gets more copies, I was like, oh, if I have lovers, I can make more wild cards, then it doesn't matter what it hits. Whereas really I should have been focusing on just kind of making more of one thing.
I mean, it's a cool idea though, but yeah, death is definitely just gonna be much nicer.
Now I was discarding a purple seal without room.
Another red seal king in a pack. My goodness. Another red seal king in a pack. Okay, we're gonna use this lovers on the king here. And I feel like an additional red seal king for in the pack, I feel like it honestly, I mean, since it's not the same suit, it's not a heart, and we haven't been deathing those lovers red seals, it's honestly just gonna benefit Scooty a bit more.
And his deck size now 39 cards against Halien's 47, so he's going to be that bit more consistent. He's going to be able to find those kings that he wants to find. Even without the idle target, just having a thin deck is always beneficial.
Yeah. And I mean, a lot of times, I mean, you can talk about, oh, what's the correct line? What's the best mathematical line in any given situation, but what's truly important is that you play your line better than your opponent plays their line, right? And right now, Scooty is playing this high card line quite well. I mean, they're playing it, I mean, as good as they can, really. They're really reliant on getting the enhancement or like a mime or something along those lines, but they're piloting it in a way that even though I would say the idol is probably just a more consistent, better line, it doesn't matter because Scooty is possibly just gonna pilot this high card line better. Of course, it all probably doesn't matter if this idol hits King of Hearts a single time, but phenomenal Sun card pickup for Halien here.
And Halien with a full round to still do, so this is not his idle hit for the PvP. There is the red seal king, and he's currently holding a Sun card, so he skips.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I can understand that if you're not holding on to the Sun card, but with the Sun card in hand, it just feels like a very simple take there, but...
And then we should be towering something here at least. But instead, getting a nope on the Wheel of Fortune.
Alright. Alien needs to make as much use out of these tarots as possible since we're making so much money. I mean, look at the reroll difference. 10 rerolls to 6, and we haven't even gone through the big blind shop yet. I mean, with such a massive amount of rerolls, the likelihood that we're going to want to fill up our tarot slots again is kind of likely. Also, using the Sun card on a 10 and a 9 here. Not going to go for more kings. Alright, 54,000. What is it? It's a Queen of Hearts. And now we're incredibly punished for using the Sun card. Maybe the Queen of Hearts could have been enough. I'm not sure how many Queen of Hearts we have. I think we might have strengthened some of our queens. Selling out of the rebate for the Acrobat.
It's a
oh no.
It's a bold play. The Lovers comes back around. We have 1 Queen of Hearts and 3 queens total in the deck. One of them is glass, but if it's not a heart, that doesn't matter to us. Use the Sun card prematurely.
Yeah. We have this Lovers up top.
Now, can we find what we need in $81 worth of re-rolling?
there's a chariot. Probably not going to matter too much.
We're going to keep a high amount of money because obviously we have the seed money voucher for the extra interest, but it's rough times to be Halion when there was just kind of victory was right there. I think if he had that sun card and made a full house with glass, Queen of Hearts, or a flush
you can
house.
play flush house in this situation, and that's going to be a lot of points with the glass. Absolutely.
Still lacking any kind of dusk or re-triggers like Sock and Buskin. That's where some real value would be had, but the seed just not providing them.
Yeah, with no real re-triggers in the seed, I think probably the Baron's still going to score a little bit more than the Idol. And here's that Red Seal King drawn for Scooty. A Red Seal King does score exactly the same as a Steel King, but it has more potential upside. You can still throw an enhancement on there. You can throw a gold or a chariot. And we know Scooty scores... Okay, this is gonna be interesting, because we know Halion outscores 78,000 with the Acrobat pickup. We were scoring like 50,000 last PvP with... we've been scoring a lot more just with the Flush 5 in general, right? So the Acrobat is actually going to force Scooty to maybe utilize this cryptid to take the win. But maybe before they get that chariot enhancement, which I know seems like they really want to hold out for that enhancement, but could end up helping them in the long term.
Yeah, because Scooty's been so comfortable just ending his rounds in flushes. Now he really has to kind of commit to playing that high card and seeing how that is going to turn out for him now that he's committed to that strategy. Now we can discard this purple seal. If it's a sun card.
Yeah, holding on to these... Yeah, holding on to these queens here.
Or it's an emperor into a sun card. It's another lovers.
You might be considering playing... No, there's a flush house right here. Okay, so Halion has a flush house. That's a very decent hand. As long as they don't play this glass here, you might even consider overriding the glass with the lovers. All right, dropping the red seal. I mean, that's fine. It's not really providing much value. Maybe you'd rather have that lucky card anyway. Being sure to keep the flush house. All right, and here's the hand from Halion. It will be pretty powerful. I don't know if it's gonna beat Scooty's cryptid, but maybe with some fortunate lucky hits. It's gonna be 343,000.
Right, here's the cryptid finally on the Red Seal King. Are we going to death one as well? Yes.
Yeah, you're supposed to death the 10 here and then play that foil king. Or the holographic bonus. Yeah, the holographic bonus is probably just better.
Especially it's a bonus card. It's getting those 40 chips anyway. And this is going to outscore by a long way. 4x.
By about I think that's just, a little bit more than 3x there. And Sock and Buskin.
King of Hearts on the
King
idol.
of Hearts hit on the idol.
And...
Oh, we're just going to see a full skip.
And
antimatter.
I couldn't remember its name. I was looking at it like, I never buy it because I never see it, but it's a perfect, perfect outcome.
And this is why you don't want to be out one life on an idol seed, because yes, you just took out your opponent 2 times in a row, but all Halion needs is the one, and we should be seeing the double skip here.
Just spend all that money, find some good other tarot cards, and be on your way.
Yeah, I mean, Scooty's gonna need a miracle here. They need to find Chariot or...
And like,
something.
We need to get out of this business card. $100 chips is probably about a 2x with a flush house.
Well, we're going to be playing flush 5, and we have like a few levels on that.
Of course we are. I was still thinking about the queens. Here are the skips.
Not much you would care about in this pack besides a red seal glass, King of
And
Hearts.
there is that 300-second timer that says to Scooty, I got what I was looking for. Can you keep up?
Yep. Well, so it's not over for Scooty here, because you need to keep in mind this idol is just as good as red seal glass, right? And Scooty just made one of those. They have a death card up top. Maybe they roll into some crazy good tarot cards, and then they just have the additional X-Molt from the Baron. Could be possible, but they would need a flush 5 of glass, which is asking a lot out of these next few blinds.
And how do you figure having the trio and the acrobat here folds into Halien's max scoring versus Scooty's?
I mean, it's really going to depend if the Baron can outcompete them, right? I mean, Baron needs to be, or just in-hand triggers in general. Like this, the combination of the Steel and the Baron is going to have to outcompete a 9x, which is possible. 5 instances of 1.5x is 7, so you're looking at 6 instances of 1.5x. If you get 3 Steel Kings in the hand in combination with a flush 5 red seal glass, is possible, but that's, again, a lot needs to happen right now. Like, I think it's already too late. I think we needed, like, Fool in that Arcana pack earlier, and then we needed to use the Death Fool on the glass, and then we needed to roll into another Death Fool. I think that was probably the only way. We could also find Mime. Finding Chariot, Death, Fool. Oh my goodness. Photograph. And that's a lot, but I don't know if it's going to be enough.
Yeah, because of course,
I mean, that
Scooty has been on this high card run, but did take the Sock and Buskin, so that is still re-triggers that he has access to with glass, red seals, whatever as well.
So we're gonna have 3 red seal glass for Scooty here. There is a purple seal in the deck, so we could have 4 if we get a death. And then we did make some red seal steel. So with the Chariot as well. Again, this is really asking a lot, but I can't help. I don't know. Part of me feels like there's a world. Part of me feels like there's a world where Scooty has enough sauce here, but it would require the purple seal to give another death, which is very difficult. And yeah, especially if we're not going to dig very deep, we're going to do something like hold on to all these kings here.
And Halien debating holding on to some of this steel or not. I would not be if I was digging for these kings. Like, he holds the 2 of spades in the previous hand and now discards it when he could have discarded it in the last hand.
I mean, Halien really needs to find these red seals, right? That's the most important, the most impactful thing they can do with in this PvP is just make sure they find their red seals, because every red seal is going to be an additional 2x scoring. I mean, the only thing that's keeping this even marginally close is just the fact that Halien has no glass, right?
And like Scooty showing up with the turn order, like, yeah, here's a cool mill on a hand that didn't really matter to me.
Yeah, I just wish he would utilize it, because you can sit here and wait and see the insane idle score that Halien's gonna put up, and then because you see that score, you can find out, you can be like, oh, so my only out is this insane high roll, and then you'd hold on to your discards and dig very deep for specifically that high roll, right?
Well, Scooty gets lucky. Oh, sorry, Halien gets lucky. No, he dashed. Oh, what? Was that not a death that he had? Was it lucky cards?
He was a magician.
Oh, I thought he'd done death the wrong way around.
You looked at Scooty's screen,
yeah.
Probably.
Right, well, turn order says Halien's got to throw it.
Yeah, another interesting thing here is 4 of a kind probably just going to be better than 5 of a kind here. The holographic bonus king is creating a lot of base mult. There's the score 743 million. I don't think Scooty gets there. I mean, maybe with the photograph. That photograph is pretty powerful. It's essentially being a 4th glass card in our hand right now. And we do have a few steel cards. I mean, this is 5 Baron procs, 5 steel procs. Holographic as well. The scary face providing a lot of chips. I don't know. It could be close. I don't know. This could be really close, actually. The more I look at this.
No, he's so far over.
Oh, no, that's literally... Oh, yeah. He's no, wait, Scooty wins.
Yeah.
Wait, Scooty just won.
Yeah, by 3.9 billion, or 3.9 billion to 700 million.
Yeah, that's
all those kings.
And that photograph coming in clutch there. And just Halion having no glass. Wow. I mean, my calculations were way off, I suppose.
All right, we're going to game 3, 1 life or 1 round apiece.
Yeah, I mean, it really was that Baron and the steel that was the secret sauce here, right? I mean, the 7.5x times 2. There was 49x molt in Halion's, like, held in Halion's hand there.
Halion just... I don't think he found any of his glass Red Seal Kings. They were all non-glass, weren't they? Or was he looking at Scooty's deck? I don't know anymore.
Yeah, and just think about if Halion had death those Red Seals instead, right? I mean, or even if we just had any glass whatsoever, I don't think Halion would have been really struggling here. But, yeah. And that's going to put it 1-1.
Be interesting to see what Halion picks here for game 3.
Done. That was a reverse sweep too, wasn't it? Right?
Yeah, I went to lethal.
Wow. All right. Last round then, I guess, for us. I'm going to choose White Stake to keep things...
White Stake from Halion.
Basically.
All right, let's do Ghost.
Ghost. Classic Ghost.
Yeah, let's get things funky.
All right, White Stake Ghost deck. 1 for the fans.
Hell yeah. Let's do it.
The Bean Edsy game seems to have finished long ago.
All right, I wonder what both of these players are going to do with this Hex.
They're going to do it on Hanging Chad.
Well, yep, that seems correct. That seems like what is going to happen. That is, you know, the game just wanted to answer my question real quick there. It's like, don't worry, I'll let you know. All right, Drunkard or Fortune Teller, which way Western Man? I think the Drunkard has more potential to be useful in the future, but maybe you don't find any base mult for like the next 2 blinds and Fortune Teller's the only thing. I think it's definitely Drunkard here though.
Well, we have divergence.
All right, Fortune Teller picked up for Halion. Alright, the straight with the polychrome does one-shot. That's something really nice about Ghost deck. That early Hex. Normally, yes, you can one-shot the small blind, but not really the big blind unless you get a really nice hand with no jokers, no scoring jokers. But Halion with the polychrome Chad and Scooty with the polychrome Chad able to one-shot because 300 times 1.5 is 450.
And I think both players doing some suit changing, but I think Scooty made more clubs, whereas Halion has made more hearts. And no odd Todd here, even with the early Hanging Chad to get the extra value out of those odd cards, just not prioritizing that over just having more economy.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like Odd Todd with the Chad early has very real chance to win this first PvP. So interesting to see that passed up, but the Hermit probably influencing a lot of that decision, right? You really want to hold on to your money if you're gonna have that Hermit. All right, but Halion has no such thing holding them back. They're gonna go Mega Arcana pack. Or a Jumbo Arcana pack. I don't know if this is a choose two, or I think this is just a choose one here. Ripping the Temperance, going to be rewarded here. Getting $1 extra, not going to take the Odd Todd either.
And of course, every Arcana card for them is 1 mult, so more incentivized to open these big expensive packs just on that front.
Yeah, but is this Fortune Teller really going to be around for long? I feel like the odds that we run into even something like a Jolly Joker or some sort of base mold, like, yeah, right here, there's a Riff Raff for Scooty, and the chance that we just get a much better common is very high, so I don't know if I like the decision to play around it, but Rocket showing up for Scooty before the first PvP could be good. I think this Chaos is maybe better than the Rocket, especially with the Riff Raff printing more commons. We're going to see better Econ Jokers, so I probably would have sold out of it here, but I can respect the Rocket play.
And Halion has these couple of bonus cards that I don't think Scooty has in his deck unless I missed something. And with the Hanging Chad, that is kind of an extra 90 chips just out of nowhere.
Hey, look at this business card, though. That's pretty good. I'm a gambling man. I see this Riff Raff, I sell the Fortune Teller immediately and just gamble. I'm going to get some scoring before the PvP. But we're going to head into it with the Fortune Teller. Let's see if we're rewarded or punished. Scary Face, Faceless. If we did not have this business card, I would say punished. But because we have the business card, maybe we don't care as much about the Faceless with the business card, Chad.
Scooty has a Polychrome 8 of Hearts.
Oh, what? Where did that come from?
Either a standard pack or a the Spectral that Aura, but I don't know which of those.
The overlay's still displaying the enhancements and seals and scores from last game.
Oh,
by the way, I don't know if that's like.
I can reset it.
Yeah, vouchers as well. Okay. It's just gonna start tracking the money from right now, I guess. From right now on.
Quite possibly. I saw the matches go to 1 game apiece, and I just assumed it was working in the background because they had worked. I thought I was fixing the desync issue rather than having to manually reset. But the deck contents and stuff should update, I think, because it can see what the contents of the deck is at any moment.
Yeah. This Fortune Teller just being 4 extra base molt. You know, I really thought it could have just won Halion this PvP. But Scooty had the polychrome, had that polychrome that Halion did not have access to, and that is going to be the difference maker in this PvP. Well, I mean, there's still a little bit of sauce left over here. We have the Scary Face with the Chad. With the 4 base molt and the polychrome, maybe it's enough. No, it's not. Gonna be a little bit less than 2,000 short. All right, looking to sell out of the Riff Raff here. 8 Ball as well showing up. We do have Chad. And it's not the worst time to sell out a Riff Raff. Of course, I feel like whenever I'm in this situation where I have either Photograph or Chad and a Riff Raff, that's always just going to be in the back of my mind. What if the other piece of this puzzle is in this Riff Raff and I miss it?
And my opponent gets it.
Yep. Alright, straight going to be played for Scooty.
Gets out in 1. No chance to greed the 8 ball or anything.
Yeah. You know, I will say that's something I've seen consistently across these games is Halion really seems to value, and correctly so, just being able to min-max blinds, not win too early, and just completely min-max. But Scooty not even playing for the 8-ball Chad, just completely one-shotting, is probably going to cost them a lot of value, and has costed them a lot of value over the course of the set. All right, now here's a choice in this Buffoon pack. You can go for the Baron, or you can go for this holographic loyalty card. One of them is much more annoying to use, but has a pretty high likelihood of winning this first PvP, while the Baron could be the long-term strategy depending on where this game ends up.
Yeah, and Halion building quite well into a decent number of queens here, so he has something to already kind of focus his attention towards, which is always nice to have that kind of guiding light early.
Absolutely. I mean, it's so important that you get your deck fixing online as fast as possible, just because as the game goes farther and farther and the scoring requirements get higher and higher, you need your deck to start compensating for the lack of scoring jokers if you want to get a full greed economy setup.
I wonder if the cash spent did update, because I don't know that Scooty spent this much more than Halion in just the last round.
It must have, right?
I would have thought so.
I feel like it must have. All right, there's a gold seal in this standard pack. I mean, we have a Chad. I think I just take it. $9 every time you draw it. But it's going to be passed up on Scooty's side of the screen here.
And then that same Baron loyalty card booster for Halion. He goes banana.
All right. That was not the choice I was expecting here. I think it's also worth pointing out, the banana value is really not as good as it would normally be because of the holographic acrobat, right? We already have the base molt on that acrobat, so we don't really need to worry too much.
Now, we've got so many 8s that we could be using our hands played as discard, but we can't get rid of the higher cards if we're doing that, unless I guess we could play a pair of 8s.
You know, if there's one thing that I genuinely appreciate so much about Major League Balatro Season 3, it is that people are just enlightened about 8-ball now. I'm glazing 8-ball while 8-ball is just missing 6 times in a row, but like people just know. People just know that 8-ball is good. Look, Halion might not have taken the Baron or the loyalty card here, but they certainly knew that they want to play around this 8-ball and go 8-ball Chad.
I mean, does 8 high card here win for 105 points? I think it does.
Absolutely. With the base molt and the acrobat as well on top, but
he could have just greeded another
honestly
8
playing
there.
Well, but you don't want to greed the 8 because you'd rather have the money from business.
Oh
probably.
Yeah, okay.
Right.
Banana pops.
You know, I mean, we could see Cavendish show up, and then it's actually the smartest banana decision of all time.
If only we still had that riffraff.
I forgot Riffraff can give you Cavendish if you pop the banana.
Yeah.
I forgot that was a
It's
thing
a common.
that could happen.
Doesn't feel like it should be, but that's the price you pay of getting through your Gros Michel.
Yeah, that's your reward. It's gonna show up more often. Let's see if Halion decides to take this gold seal. Could be
takes the glass 9.
Thinking about taking deciding to take the glass 9. I don't necessarily hate that as long as I feel like if you're gonna take the glass 9, oh my gosh, Immolate is crazy to see. Just a few rerolls. Is that like just one reroll deeper? Did Scooty not see that?
I can't see our reroll track at the moment. It's not tracking.
It looked like 2-2 to me, but what I was gonna say is I was like, if we're gonna take that glass 9, I would really like to see a suit changer picked up, right? The glass is gonna be super impactful if we can incorporate it into like a flush house. So that Sun card could have been nice, but that Immolate, much better.
Do you ever immolate now while you're just holding 2 of your
Absolutely.
queens so you get the most interest out of this and more discarding?
Yes, I immolate now, because it's not like it's gonna get any better, right? You don't want to discard your queens, and as the round gets further and further, you're just going to draw into more cards that you don't want to immolate. The only time where I would say maybe don't immolate immediately, maybe you draw a really good hand, then you can just play the hand. Don't wait till your last hand and then immolate afterwards, and then you can like curate the immolate hand. But with an acrobat, that's not going to be possible either. But yeah, the other major issue we could run into by holding onto this immolate is maybe another really good Spectral shows up. Maybe a couple really good Spectrals show up. Maybe immolate shows up again and we don't get the second copy of it. All sorts of things that could happen, but
now we're just playing 2-pair. Do you think
yeah,
we know we
I
can't
think
make
another
75k?
I think Halion should realize that, because I don't think he can with just the Acrobat and the Chad. The Baron really lifting a lot of heavy weight here. And so if I'm Halion here, I'm just discarding all my good cards and trying to get a pretty good immolate hand. Hey, hold on. We do have a flush house here with the death card if we so desired, and that could definitely get there. I didn't realize we were at flush house potential without the Sun card. That's kind of crazy.
We're thinking about just playing the flush? Okay.
Wait, what? Okay.
Yeah, there's no gold, there's no purple seals to worry about. You're on your last hand for Acrobat, just rip it.
Yeah, and not chatting the glass.
Not punished.
Is this enough?
Yeah, it is.
Oh my goodness. All right. Well, good use of that. I mean, I think just great play from Halion, just picking up that glass 9 in the pack. I think people should just take random glass cards more often, because you can do something like that with a flush house. All right, hoping for a good immolate hand in here. Seems good enough to me, unless you're just really don't want to break any queens.
Immolate first, Justice whichever queen survives.
No, but man, the question is just going to remain, when are you going to rip the immolate? What are you going to do if you go into this blind, you draw more queens? Are you just not going to rip it? There's a couple glass cards. What's the plan here?
All right, now he has to do it. He got there.
Yeah, I mean, this is a phenomenal immolate. All right, that is a great immolate. And we're not necessarily too punished for holding it last PvP either. Winning the blind and getting that immolate onto its only normal cards, no face cards in there.
Scooty now, flush house with polychrome 8 of hearts top and tail on the hand.
Really just maximally rewarded here. And also the fact that there were not really any tarot cards or spectrals in that last shop, meaning we weren't punished for the crowding of the consumable slots.
And Halion just now realizing the +10 from Acrobat should be before the polychrome of Hanging Chad.
Yeah, not really something that matters too much when you're in the PvP, because you're going to be putting Chad on the glass, and then that's going to be more impactful. But in these base blinds, just for clearing, absolutely very impactful.
I was making a similar mistake in a game recently. I had Shoot the Moon, and I kept Shoot the Moon and Raised Fist, and I kept not putting my Raised Fist card to the left of the Steel Queens, so I wasn't getting the extra value from the Raised Fist being 1.5x, and it was just like the little things that would have made getting through the small blind, the big blind, that bit easier.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Halion making a glass 4 of hearts now.
Yeah, I mean, the big deal there, I mean, just get it on a heart, because we have all our glass on hearts. Maybe we can play flush house of 9s and 4s, potentially. But the bigger deal is we have the Fool up top, so now we can use that Fool to create another Justice and put that glass card on whatever face card, perhaps, probably the Queen of Hearts. And yeah, here it is. I'm surprised to see Scooty spending so much more than Halion has been able to, considering their Econ Joker is Rocket, and Halion has Business Card with Chad and 8-Ball. So like a little bit surprising from my point of view, but I mean, maybe there is a lot of wealth in these next few rerolls, right? Maybe there was like a Hermit or Temperance that I missed out on.
I think Halion just played a high card hand to just move some stuff through, but he had a stone card that he didn't put in that front spot, and so with a Hanging Chad, those extra 100 chips would have been nice just for building value here through the small blind and the big blind, though with this full house we're probably going to be alright. It's not the Acrobat hand.
Alright, here's the full house for Halion. Should be plenty with the Duo and the Polychrome.
And a Wraith. I'm going to spend down everything for the Wraith.
I mean, when it's in the consumable slots, why not, right? You have the business card to make your money back.
Another Immolate. One Glass Queen.
Oh my goodness. You gotta just do it, right? I mean, maybe it hits the Glass Queen. That's worst case scenario.
Best case scenario occurs.
Easy.
And now your deck's 43 cards compared to your opponent's 48.
Yeah, it's because of that previous Immolate we were able to rip. And I mean, we're getting very close to so few cards in the deck that we can actually just guarantee the draws. And yeah, I mean, that's part of why Scooty had spent so much more money, is because of that Immolate that they had found in that Spectral.
What's in the Fool right now that is better to use Empress?
I don't remember. I
it
mean,
might have been the Tower.
Be...
He made a stone card.
Yeah, potentially. And strengthening the 2 jacks, that's definitely good. I mean, more face cards to trigger the business card with. We're just going to be carrying this Wraith with us. I guess when we can treat it like a judgment. When we see a Joker we want, we can just spend all our money on packs. Sell maybe...
Oh, he sells it immediately.
8-Ball or Duo. Oh. Okay.
I guess he wants 2 tarot payouts from playing an 8. Decides, I'm not going to burn through this money at any given moment, so let me see if I can get 2 random tarots instead. And Scooty holding this flush house already.
It's definitely pretty powerful with that Polychrome, but it's not as powerful as Glass.
He's got 2 steel cards in hand as well. So it's all adding up, but is it going to add up to more than the Glass that Halion can find?
Yeah, I mean, Halion does need to find the Glass. It is pretty likely since we ripped 2 Immolates, but we could get some unfortunate draws. I mean, if you just run the numbers, we got 5 instances of 1.5x on Scooty's side, because the Chad triggering twice, and then 3 Polychromes. So it's gonna be like 7x molt, somewhere around there. And then Halion with just a singular Glass card re-triggered by Chad, if they get a strong enough hand, is 8x. If they have 2 Glass, it's even better.
This doesn't look great.
Yeah, not very high chips, but we do have that Duo and the Polychrome. It's not gonna be enough. We needed a higher base molt hand. We had an extra discard. We didn't use it for some reason to look for the hand we needed, and that's gonna send Halion down to 2 lives to Scooty's 3.
I think Halion's deck fixing just a little more pro. So many red so many 8 of hearts now, with so many of them polychrome. He doesn't have the glass to back it up, but if he can find the strong flush house and Halion can't find the glass, then it's going to work out.
Absolutely. Overstock showing up here. The one big way Scooty can get punished for going for these polychromes is going to be something like a stock showing up. There's Cavendish. Because of the banana breaking, we might be getting out of the 8-ball Chad now. I feel like it's definitely sell duo here, but... Wow, full death talisman. That is...
Choose 2.
That is a shop. Yeah, you can only take 2. Which ones are you taking? I think it's gotta be Death Talisman for me personally.
Scooty passes over a polychrome Queen of Spades in a pack. Decides doesn't need to try and make that into a king and a heart. That's just too much work.
Yeah, but Halion gonna go Death Fool, trying to get 3 copies of a glass face card. Not bad at all. And here, and Scooty is forced to make the exact same decision. Passes up on the gold seal. I do want to say, I feel like that gold seal's way better for Scooty than it was for Halion, just because you can throw that gold seal on polychrome, and now the hand that you don't have to worry about your gold seal breaking on a polychrome like you would glass.
Yeah. And Halion just routinely rolling down to next to no interest. Sorry, Scooty.
Yeah, I mean, I guess they're an interest is fake believer. I mean, they have
Rocket, they have trading cards, so they're getting $10.
They have alternate ways to make money, and bro, this is I don't think I've ever seen a Rocket stick around this long in a Major League Balatro match. I'm not gonna lie. I'm sure it's happened before. I just haven't seen it.
You mean you haven't watched every single Major League Balatro game that's ever happened in 3 seasons?
I guess not. Also, Halion, really unfortunate for them missing the glass draw in the blind, but they're still fine because they find the glass draw in the pack, and can now look for more Death Fool over the course of the shop.
Buying those mediocre tarot cards just so that they'll block others.
Polychrome Queen in the pack. My god. That is phenomenal.
And there's Golden Ticket.
Picking up Golden Ticket over a business card. We don't have many gold cards. We still have another blind to play. Oh my goodness. Yeah, this is going to be a $12 hand from this ticket here. Oh wow, okay, this is $24 golden ticket. Yeah, this was absolutely worth. Dude, Chad golden ticket is just such a powerful combo.
Now, I've lost track. Is this Halion's first time of this game? I think it must be. We're pretty into the middle of this.
Yes, it is Halion's first timer. But yeah, now that Halion has polychrome, has a polychrome queen, we can make glass polychrome just like Scooty, except for ours will be a face card.
Yeah, I'm sure he'd like to get it over towards heart instead, although he could wild it just as easily, because until glass shows up, it's not affecting him to do so.
And taking 5 of a kind levels right now. There's not much reason not to. Strength showing up as well, and here's another Wraith, another Talisman. That's pretty good. Slap that on the polychrome, and we will be chilling. Yeah, another thing that's really nice about this polychrome queen for Halion is, I mean, this is white stakes, so the blinds aren't too scary. But if they ever were in a pinch, I mean, you just put the Chad on the polychrome, and then you should be fine. We don't need photograph, even though it would be better, but we have a lot of X-Molt with the re-triggers on the polychrome and no glass breaks, but plenty of scoring to get out of the blinds.
And every time I look over at Scooty, the hand he's holding just always looks so clean and crisp with so many King of Hearts, 8 of Hearts, whereas Halien's side is just so much more a mishmash of everything that he has in the deck.
Yeah, and, well, I feel like that's because Scooty is kind of scared to discard more than Halien is. I feel like Halien, we see discard a lot more aggressively, discarding maybe some of the cards that they might have wanted to play in search of like the absolute best cards, while Scooty is maybe more comfortable not drawing their perfect hand as long as they draw something that's pretty good. And that's why they're holding on to the kings. They're willing to play the flush house here instead of flush 5. They probably will play a flush 5 anyway because they have Death Fool, but we'll see.
It's also that commitment to the 8 of Hearts means that there's going to be so many things that work for face cards that you're just not going to be able to build into if you disregard the King of Hearts half of that flush house combination. And he makes more steel red King Hearts.
Yeah, and they're just going for the most possible score in this specific blind. I don't know if it's going to be enough to beat out the glass here, but we'll see. I mean, 4 steel cards, that's a lot of steel. 2.25 x on what's 1.5 to the power of 4? I don't know. I think it's like 5x. And these glass cards are only going to be, these extra additional glass cards are only going to be 4x outside of the first one. So this could be close. I mean, we do have the Cavendish in the duo for extra sources of X-Molt.
6 million versus 1 million, so...
Yep. And that's the Cavendish duo difference right there.
Overstock plus in
2
the
lives
vouchers.
to 2. Yeah. Overstock plus, I mean, anything that accelerates this seed just means if we're seeing more jokers, we have a higher chance of running the photograph. Oh my goodness. And that is the biggest punish for Scooty here, because that polychrome is on an 8, whereas Halien's is on a face card. We can now Chad that polychrome face card, put some glass on there for more scoring than Scooty will be able to, because they don't have this polychrome
and a
queen.
death and a cryptid.
Oh my goodness.
And a talisman
okay,
with an Arcana pack.
Holy. This is so much. Yeah, I think you just buy Talisman Death, go in this Arcana. I love this line from Halien. This is definitely the way you go about it. Unfortunately, not able to find the thing that we want to death here. And last game we were talking about, okay, do you use the Cryptid immediately or do you hold it for some sort of enhancement? I think this is definitely a scenario where I would prefer holding it for the Justice card, right? Because the polychrome does not necessarily matter outside of the context where it is turned into glass, because the glass is still just going to be better than it. Blueprint showing up in the shop as well. Oh my goodness. And yeah, very wise of Halien not to reroll there despite having Chad and Ticket, because we have the full consumable slots. Personally here, I think I death the Gold Seal Polychrome Queen here just for the additional cash, and but I mean, having more glass for the PvP could absolutely be huge. I mean, at this point, do you even care about those glass 9s? I think I would try to break them. Right, we have so much scoring outside of playing those.
Yeah, we're not getting any golden ticket value right now, even though we had 10 more cards we could have looked through.
Yeah, somehow Scooty not running into the Cryptid here. Immolate showing up in this Spectral pack.
Yeah, Scooty is a whole shop ahead of Halien.
Selling out of the golden ticket for this blueprint, I feel like that's a mistake here. You probably just get out of the Cavendish, just because, I mean, money is everything in this situation, right? Money is everything, and with the blueprint and the ticket, we'd be making so much money every round.
Yeah, with our vouchers for having additional tarot cards showing up in a 4-slot shop, just means that if we have enough money, we can just reroll into every tarot card we can ever dream of.
Yeah. Baron showing up for Scooty. I think that the Baron copy with blueprint's never going to be better than the photograph copy. I mean, I guess that maybe the logic that Halien's thinking is maybe I don't need the ticket econ because I have enough econ with Blueprint Chad on the gold seals.
Yeah, like unless you're gold sealing a gold card and then playing that in the one spot.
Yeah, I mean, golden ticket Blueprint is just such an insane amount of score, but I mean, they're just really, really wanting to win this next PvP, I suppose. Alright, and we know there's going to be another Immolate in this Spectral pack. It'll be the third Immolate this game for Halien. Okay,
there's a Sun card. We can get that
a Sun card as well.
Get that Queen into a heart, no. I don't know if he missed it or is just like, nah, I'm going to worry about going 5 of a kind rather than flush 5. And does not immolate.
I think he goes for the trance instead of the immolate. That's I mean, it's ballsy. I'm really hoping for a justice right now. 6 cents, Baron, not interested. Gonna pass on the mail-in rebate as well. If we didn't want ticket, we definitely won't want rebate.
That's the 5 of a kind level.
Tickets back if we want to change our minds.
Nope. Alright, so it's going to be who can kind of construct the better hand out of what they have here, and it's probably Halien with these glass Queen of Hearts.
Yeah, just so much glass in the deck. We still have the Cryptid, just holding on to it for the Justice to show up eventually. I mean, look at, if you look at the overlay, I'm not sure if yeah, it looks to be updated. 0 glass cards for Scooty compared to 7 on a Halien side of the screen. We do have the Death Justice for Scooty, but it's just not going to be as powerful.
And Halien just
Apparently
playing...
Scooty's lives are not showing on the overlay, by the way.
I'm so sorry.
You can just look at the bottom left of Scooty's screen and see him. It's not that big of a deal.
Yeah, I don't know why some stuff is updating manually and some stuff's not, but that is now accurate now.
Alright, yeah, it looks like we are going to have this flush 5 glass of queens for Halien. Now, it is interesting. What is better, the photocopy or the Chad copy? I think it is the Chad copy here, because of this glass. It's either I don't know. Hold on, I need to think about this. It always gets weird with blueprint, photo Chad, and glass.
I look at it, if you do it one way, it's
like
32x. If 8x times 8x, 8 8s are 64, which is more.
Mm-hmm. Well, if it's the same amount of X-Molt either way, then it's Chad copy for a little bit of extra chips, but No, it's Chad copy. It's Chad copy because copying photograph gives you 8x more, and then copying Chad gives you 16x, right? Because 2 triggers on the glass and then 2 triggers on the photo.
Halion wins that round. Sorry, Scooty wins that round.
Oh my god, was it by a 2x? No, it was by a bit more than a 2x. Chad copy doesn't get there. It gets very close to getting there.
So the Baron just adding so much extra value, I guess.
Yeah, I suppose so. I mean, this Baron has, like, honestly 2 games in a row that Baron has really surprised me and put in a lot more effort than I really thought it would. Yeah, I suppose it is the combination of Baron and Steel. All right, here's Justice card, but it's not where we needed it. Could get the Polychrome from the Aura and then the Justice on.
Well, there's a Sun card in the shop.
Yeah,
we have
definitely
a lot of good. We have the Polychrome target. He's not taking it.
No Sun card. I mean, we do have pretty decent 5 of a kind level. And there's Justice. That's exactly what Halion needed to have the Polychrome face cards. Not taking the Red Seal Stone card in the pack, by the way, on the off chance that it could be a face card for this photograph.
There's Barons comes back round. I wonder what that blocks into for Scooty.
Yeah, slightly punished here for rolling down when we have full consumable slots, but maybe that's something you feel like you have to do in this situation. But yeah, here it is, the Justice on the Polychrome into the Cryptid.
I just think that there's no reason that couldn't have been Hearts. Our 5 of a kind and 5 flush levels are about the same, I think.
Yeah, we could have put the Sun card on it earlier in that Buffoon pack, but we decided to death it instead. That absolutely could have been better, but I think Halion might just have better 5 of a kind levels than flush 5 levels, and I think that might be a reason he's doing it.
So we need even more information on these overlays.
There's already so much, though.
I think it was originally planned that we'd have a button we could push that would show us the deck construction.
That would be so. That would be so.
So if we could just have a button that shows us current levels, that would be a.
I think that is the only thing we really need is the levels and the deck construction. If we had that, I think we would just have everything. I don't think there'd be any more information that we could possibly get.
No. I think if we
can we get player heart rate on the overlay?
And just spend all of Major League Balatro's budget on sending everyone heart rate monitors.
Can we get cups of water consumed as a stat?
Mid-game bathroom breaks.
Legume counter. That's another one that we need.
Yeah, if in the overlay, if we could just tick total spent up a little and high score down a little, and just in that gap in the middle, just have a deck size, because I know a lot of players like to put their overlay just in the bottom right corner so you can't see the deck size sometimes, and just having it big and up front, or just a thing that shows you exactly how many cards have broken lately, just in case you miss the animations as they go through scoring.
Yeah, absolutely. Heading into this PvP, it should be Halion favored. They did lose the last PvP by about a 2x, but if they copied Chad last PvP, it would have been very, very close. It would have been a minor levels difference. And this PvP, they're heading into it with 3 copies of Polychrome Glass, which Scooty does not have, so should be pretty Halion favored.
And I think Halion would like to get out of here with a Blue Seal 5 of a kind level, but I don't know that he's going to find that last extra queen.
All right. 4 of a kind should be plenty with this photograph in Cavendish.
And Acrobat's still here. If we could just find some other retrigger like a Dusk to switch off of one of these, then we're laughing. But obviously, though there's Blackboard is not what we need for Scooty.
I mean, it's both Acrobat and Cavendish, right?
Yeah.
Like both of these can go. And it's funny because I mean, Scooty's held onto this rocket for the entire game. This is a $11 rocket.
Another Immolate.
Which it's getting to the point where it's not even that bad. Wow.
Showman.
I mean, you just take it.
You get rid of Acrobat, you take Showman, you find another Hanging Chad.
That's such a big gamble right before this next
I guess, yeah,
PvP,
Halien's down
but
to 1 life.
You could. I mean, Showman with Photo Chad is a very real combo.
You give up a 3x for what would be, what, about 3 rolls max?
Yeah, and I mean, it's funny because if Halien had perfect information on Scooty's lineup, I think you would take the Showman just because you know you have the Polychrome this time. And Scooty hasn't really improved. So the Showman is just good for Halien here, but it's definitely hard to do that on 1 life, right? I mean, I would not recommend making that play having the information that Halien has.
Alright, Halien, Immolate.
Well, I don't know how many glass queens we have in the deck. We did rip the Cryptid, right? So
Yeah, those aren't hearts,
Cryptid,
those
we
are
should have
clubs, so
plenty.
he's got tons.
Yeah. We should definitely have plenty. But yeah, now it's just going to be too late to rip that Cryptid. Definitely want to play these gold seals if possible.
And Scooty's still with Death Justice in hand, so...
Yeah, they should have the, those Polychrome 8s. It is going to be a close PvP. Because, I mean, the fact that Scooty is going to play Polychrome Glass here...
This isn't later it's glass. Oh, sorry, I was looking at the Polychrome card he's holding right now. Apologies.
Yeah. We got 3 Polychrome Glass. The only problem is we can't actually chat it because it's not a face card. So we have to chat the glass face cards here. We're going to get 3 1.5Xs. I didn't even notice. Look at those flush house levels. Jesus Christ. Jesus, what is that flush? What are those flush house levels?
It's like a 3x in and of itself.
Oh my
It's
god.
making the difference for Cavendish.
And the Baron is just more X-Molt than the Cavendish, and the Steel also makes up for the Acrobat. I mean, Scooty could just win right here.
And
My god.
Scooty copying Chad, Halien copying Photo.
Yeah, no, the Chad copy was definitely correct here. You're missing out on multiple 1.5Xs from the Gold Seal, and that's going to be GG. Scooty takes game 3 and gets a much needed win. I think, does Chad copy even win there? I don't know if it does. You get a couple additional Polychrome procs, so two 1.5Xs, and then also an additional 2X. Like, no, I don't think Halien wins even if they copy Chad. Holy, those blue seals were crazy. Damn. I mean, I thought Scooty was screwed over for like a lot of this game, but I mean, prove me wrong. I mean, Baron actually just providing enough X-Molt to be basically a Cavendish, a more complicated Cavendish, but a better one.
Yeah.
A slightly better one.
And like just for this whole day, Baron MVP today.
Yeah, I suppose so. Yeah, GG, well played. And yeah, again, very, very needed win for Scooty here. They are at 4 points after week 3, and this is going to shoot them up to 7. So, I mean, if they keep winning, they have a very real shot at playoffs after that win. All right.
That's our game.
You doing anything after this match? You staying live?
No, it is coming up on 9:30 over here, so I need to
I
go
see.
and do the evening routines and stuff.
All right. Well, that was a long Balatro match. It was 3 hours and 24 minutes. So I think I will be rating somebody.
As will
But
I.
But thanks for the cast.
Thank you too. It was a great set of games. Shame about the misplay in round 2 with the disconnect, but we can't possibly know what was going to happen in the end.
Yeah, and that's really unfortunate because I'm pretty sure Halion was going to win that game, and they probably, yeah, I know. I mean, they were up 4-1. They were probably going to win that game, and then the disconnect happened. So that is very unfortunate, but
it could have just as easily been the other way around for the other player.
Exactly. All right, we'll see you around.
Thank you so much. Have a great night.
I will.
All right, gang. That is going to be our stream for the day. Thank you ever so much for hanging out with me over on Twitch. We are going to go raid. We're going to raid Edzy. We can raid Edzy. YouTube, thank you ever so much for hanging out over on the YouTube side of things. I don't have any more casting or playing for MLB this week. For the next 4 days, my computer is going to be completely torn down as I repaint this room. So that's very exciting. So thank you guys ever so much for hanging out, and I'll see you guys again very soon. Bye.